Bill, come on in. You don't have to sit out there. Bill Burr's just sitting outside there.
Bill!
He's been sitting there for like 10 fucking minutes.
I was sitting outside. How do you want me to do? I walk in, you yell at me. Just sitting out there. I was waiting for people to ask me to come in. I was sitting outside. Doug, you're talking.
I was asking.
What
the fuck? I was asking.
Roland?
I was asking about the history behind that Bobby Kelly picture where he's got the banana peel on his head.
Oh, he was being wacky.
Yeah,
he was being kooky.
That was wacky,
nutty.
Bobby.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hi,
how are you, sir?
How you been, Bill Burr?
Fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
What's up,
Can't
Bill?
complain.
Always a pleasure to have
What's up,
Bill
Opie?
Burr back.
How are you? Very
Good.
official?
Good.
Very official?
Good.
Do we have things we need to discuss?
No, not really.
Okay.
What do you think out for, though?
I did.
The comedy festival?
Yeah, I did a thing last night for the troops. It was an insane thing over at the Beacon Theater. Oh, yeah. Just to try to balance it out so we can keep making money in this country. It was, just a thing for the troops, supporting the troops, one of those shows. And I had a bunch of big names on there.
Yeah.
And then myself quivering in the wings.
You do well, I'm sure.
Yeah, fortunately I did. I definitely had the freak out of, like, nobody said fuck yet.
Who was on the show?
I'm going to be that guy.
You're
All right,
be
this is the show. Jon Stewart hosted. Tony Bennett came out and sang.
What the fuck?
Bruce Springsteen.
Jesus.
Wow.
Then you got to talk to Joel McHale, had to follow Springsteen and an auction. That's the biggest take on the beach I've ever seen in stand-up. Like,
wow.
He was hilarious. He was just standing there, just like, really? Really? And but he killed, and then I got to ride his wave, and then Seinfeld closed it out.
Holy
What
shit.
the fuck, Bill?
Yeah. That was definitely one of those things
show.
when I was looking at it like, what the hell am I doing here? I should
How much
be
time?
8 minutes.
Right. 8 quick minutes.
8 quick minutes, and they,
Nice.
the second you see that flashing light, you're like,
Get the fuck off.
don't want to piss people off.
Seinfeld's coming on. Get off.
Hey,
That was definitely pretty cool.
You get photos?
Yeah, that's...
No, I didn't.
No?
Yeah, and I was actually talking to DeRosa about that, how I respect your unabashed, just like you... Like, everybody's got to act like they don't want a picture with Tony Bennett.
Well, Bruce, I got one. Springsteen.
Hold on.
I got him, too.
I'm an
That's
idiot.
right.
I'm an idiot.
Hold that thought, all right, really fast. But we got the freak show on the line here. We're discussing something. We want to get to the bottom of this. Bob and Mikey, what's up, brothers?
Hi, guys.
We're suspicious about the Clinton thing. You going to come clean with us?
No, completely real.
Completely real. So he's talking about Lil Wayne.
I'm buying it, dude. Opie's suspicious.
I was a little
Jimmy
suspicious. That's why we have you on the line.
But then hearing the rest of the clip, I was like, yeah, it's probably real.
Yeah. We're the farthest thing from like a political talk show or even talking politics.
Right.
Yeah.
But our ratings are pretty good, so they want to jam these people onto our show, right?
Was there a big
To the young people.
Was there a big race in Pittsburgh that Clinton had to get involved with?
It was the governor race in Pennsylvania, so they wanted to, like, I don't know, come on and talk about their candidate or whatever like that. But, you know, we wanted to talk about, you know, just other crap because we know nothing about politics. And they emailed us at like 9 o'clock the night before, just like, oh, hey, Bill Clinton on the phone with you guys tomorrow morning. We're like, sure.
Wow, were you shitting a brick?
That's a good one.
I don't know if we had Obama on before, and he was such a robot. Like, it was just awful.
Wait, you guys talked to Obama, too?
We wanted to try to avoid all that. So we just threw Clinton, like, questions, you know, out of nowhere.
Who books your show? Can we have them?
They contact us, which is the weirdest thing, because I mean, we don't even have a producer on our show, so we don't even know.
What the fuck?
Neither do we. Kidding, of course.
I don't know. They just contact us, and we're just like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then we just get on and ask them normal things, and they, like, freak out.
Right.
Were they freaking out a little bit about Lil Wayne and McRib?
I definitely don't think they thought it was going to blow up as big as it did and stuff like that. But they didn't email us back and say, you know, anything like that. They were fine with it, I guess. Yeah, Clinton was a trooper, though. He just rolled with it. I mean,
he don't care at this point.
You know, more people were talking about Bill Clinton and Lil Wayne than they were talking about the Democrats just getting, you know, their butts handed to them and stuff.
Yeah. Bill Clinton, at this point, doesn't care anyway. If you look at what he's doing and stuff, he's just enjoying himself.
How long did you have him for?
We had him on for probably about 10 minutes, I would say.
It's pretty cool, man.
Damn, that is pretty
congratulations to you guys. It's everywhere.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Thank you, boys.
Damn.
You guys okay? You guys having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Bill Burr in today.
Yeah, Bill Burr.
You had Bill Clinton. We have Bill Burr. They love you, Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
Have you ever been on the Freak Show in Pittsburgh?
I imagine. I have no idea. I've been on like a zillion shows at this point. I'm like this.
Bob and Mikey, have you had Bill Burr
monkey
on?
Absolutely not. No, we've never had Bill Burr on. Never been offered. He's way too fancy for us.
You don't want to bump Bill Clinton to get Bill Burr. Well, while you were talking to Bill Burr, we were talking to Bobby Lee from. He was on Mad TV years ago.
Did you ask him how he feels about Lil Wayne getting out this week?
No, he couldn't. He had his clothes off and he was humping one of the interns.
Yeah,
but
it was really awkward for everybody.
Yeah. As you're talking to Bill Clinton.
Lil Wayne question at that point.
Yeah, see, we don't know. We don't know what to do.
Well, you guys, I've never done your show.
Yeah.
You guys are on what station?
96.1 Kiss in Pittsburgh.
Okay, I've been there many times. I haven't done you guys, but I would like to do when I come in.
Next time you're in town, little Jimmy.
Yeah, definitely.
Find us, because I've been to your shows before, Jim.
Okay, thank you, man.
Wow, these guys get to talk to politicians.
Unless Ahmadinejad is coming on their show that day.
Yeah.
You might get bumped for him, Jim.
Well, maybe you got to talk to the president of, like, Switzerland or something.
The right, Chip.
Everyone gets bumped for you, though, little Jimmy, so don't worry.
All right.
Thanks, bud. Congratulations, guys. Great.
Yeah,
get back to your show. Congratulations, man.
Take it easy. Bye, gentlemen.
Bye.
All right, the Freak Show from Pittsburgh. They talked to Clinton about the McRib and Lil Wayne.
That's a pretty good get.
That is.
Yeah, what is
They don't even have a producer, and they're getting fucking Clinton on their show.
Do you want to be Bill Clinton? Ooh, whoopee, ooh.
Hello. Roland.
Bill
People. Oh, yeah, he was there last night.
Of course it was. Wherever Springsteen goes, Roland goes.
He actually somehow got into Max Weinberg's circle.
Oh, shit.
As they were all standing, because he was just sort of standing against the wall.
Was he creaming? Because he is a huge
Well,
fan.
Max, I guess, was going around the circle going, you go, ba-da-ba, and you come in, hey, he's doing a whole thing. He just kind of comes to Roland. Roland's just like, Bruce. and Max just rolled his eyes like, who is this idiot? And then just continued on. Dude,
let's get him in here.
Roland was hilarious. He was sitting there, and he had on his some sort of limited edition Bruce Springsteen, direct from the website, like $80 T-shirt or something.
Of course.
And, he got a hug from Bruce, and I think he almost fainted.
Wow.
A hug from Bruce?
A big one.
Yeah, Bruce was funny. He came up and he went, he goes, merchandise. And he hugged him.
Merchandise.
I really believe Roland is the biggest Bruce Springsteen fan in the world.
He's seen.
Dude, he was walking by. He goes, "This is how much of a nerd I am." He's like, "That's Bruce's guitar tech," and he knew the guy's name.
Oh my God!
He's into like the
here he is.
Roland, and of course he's wearing a Springsteen shirt today as well.
So, Roland, let me ask you: have you gotten a photo with Bruce?
No, I haven't.
You've never gotten one?
No.
You should have asked me, dude. I would have done that.
Why didn't you last night? Was like the perfect opportunity.
But the thing is, so I won't look like. When you have people around, like, they had a lot of powerful agents, managers.
Okay, yeah.
You can't do it. Because one woman took a picture, and everybody's like, who's her?
And they were all like, why does she have the balls to do what we'd all love to do?
Yeah,
or like,
that's exactly it.
Wow.
I got Bruce in an elevator, so it's different.
But he gave me a hug, so.
Yeah, Bill was telling us.
Gave you a hug.
It was different. He couldn't run away.
Dude, it was fucking me and Kenny were walking out for a gig in Minnesota, and Springsteen's band was in the hotel we were in. And literally there was a fucking truck, an SUV in front of the car. And the security guy, when we walked out, goes, hello, little Jimmy, like he was an O&A fan.
Oh, shit.
And I think he was trying to, in a way, tell me to stay. But me and Kenny walked out of the street, and then Kenny goes, I think Bruce is in that truck. So we fucking saw Bruce get out of the truck and sign one thing. Me and Kenny bolted back into the hotel. And as the elevator's closing, we jump on. It's just the guy and Bruce and me and Kenny. And we were like, we just rode up in the elevator with him, and I'm like, do you mind if I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, sure. And we had workout clothes on. And then we realized he got off to the top floor, and he's like, what floor are you guys? We're like, oh, we just...
You have to go back down.
I went back down.
Because this is my whole floor.
Right.
I'm sure you're not on
go
this
any
one.
higher than this.
But that's one of those places where it's like you can afford to do it, because it's like, who cares? You're in an elevator.
No, but like, even you see Jon Stewart, Seinfeld, and Brian Williams all talking. Bruce walks in. They all freeze, too. They're all like...
But those guys could ask for like on that level, you can ask and it's fine.
None of them did, though.
They might already have them.
Yeah, but they're all just talking, hanging out, and everybody's like staring at Bruce.
Everybody's trying to be too cool for the room. It's like, it's Springsteen. Walk up and say hello. He knows who Jon Stewart is. He knows who Seinfeld is.
He says hello, and everybody just like keeps on staring at him. Hello, hello, hello.
Wow.
So how did you get the
but you don't want to be that
backstage
guy
action?
who just like, I mean, that's his whole life is trying to get from point A to point B, taking as few pictures as possible.
Yeah,
I just look at it. He's backstage. This is the one place where he can chill, and I'm going to be like, "Can you sign my shoulder?" You know,
that's true.
So I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't know. You know, I want to do it, but I don't have the ability to finesse it. I would just, I know I would just annoy him if I did.
Jimmy Gumption.
But I'm not. But again,
I'm
not. I do it at the right time too. I don't get them as he's walking on stage. I'll get it like
really?
I catch a moment right by the dressing room or something where you know that there's.
He's trying to collect his thoughts about what he's
exactly.
going to do.
I want to get do. We do it 8 minutes. Sing "Born in the USA" and fucking get back off. We're tired of you.
No,
Sorry.
it's just like a woman was talking about her tragedy and everything. I was standing next to Joel, and then Bruce was right in front of us. I was like,
He said he hugged you though.
yeah.
Were you happy?
Yeah. Oh, beyond. That's why I love Joel.
Did you make cumsies?
I did make lots of them.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
I bet.
I just froze.
Yeah, Roland fucking loves Springsteen.
I did. So when like
Were you all sweaty?
when the woman was
you and
talking,
you were all sweaty?
no, I smell very good though.
Like vanilla?
I had my special soap on.
This is real. I'm telling you, he's not even fucking doing it for the radio show.
when he was standing, like when the woman was doing a speech, like Joel's next to him, and there's Bruce. I'm like, I could touch him. And then like Joel kind of reached, like brushed Patty and Bruce, and then they kind of like looked around, and I just like smiled, kind of my Bruce shirt on, and then they just turned right back around. I'm like,
Oh, that's so odd. You're like the
rejection.
guy. You're like the guy at appearances that we see with the O&A shirts on, and you're just kind of like, oh God, don't come up to
Those
me.
AM radio headphones.
Don't start talking to me.
yeah. But I refrained from pictures and everything. Though it killed me. Though.
Would you get him if he was in here? Would you get a photo?
I would if management lets me. I would be more than happy.
We gotta get him a photo with Springsteen.
I tell you,
he is coming up here on the 15th.
Is he?
Yeah, for 2
Not
hours.
on our show though, right?
No, he's doing the fishbowl for like a special for the Bruce channel.
So can we get you a
Bruce channel.
picture? Can we make that happen? Because Roland's not going to ask because he works here.
What time is he coming?
I have no idea. They're just I listen to the Bruce channel all day, so I just heard the
course.
contest.
The 15th.
What is the fucking obsession?
It's
I
Monday
know.
the
I just
15th.
love Bruce's
I
music.
like bands too. There's certain bands I like, yeah, but it's like never that obsessive.
Right.
Well, yeah, Jimmy. Black Sabbath.
I get it. He just loves him.
Ozzy.
I do. So like right after your show ends, and I go, next Roland, and I go Bruce, and I hear play all day long.
What'd you hear?
Na. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's unbelievable. How many times have you seen Springsteen?
Well, last night that'll be my 253rd time.
Is there anyone that has seen Springsteen more
There's
than
no-
that?
Max Weinberg hasn't seen him that many times.
Who's a bigger Springsteen fan than you? Because you know that whole culture.
There was an old guy that's in front of me in the show. He saw like 800 shows, but he was divorced 3 times, so that's my future.
Divorced?
Probably.
That's your
He
future.
Well, once they
Bruce.
allow marriage, like.
Yeah.
Dude, that's over 2 years.
Yeah.
Of your life just seeing Bruce Springsteen concerts.
Wow,
What
you're
are you
right.
doing?
Wow.
I can't wait till he goes back on the road, though.
So, dude, are you gonna be here when he comes up and watch him?
I don't know if
Get
I'm
it,
allowed to
really?
because it's only like 20 people. They're having a contest.
Why can't they put you in the fishbowl? What's
Maybe
wrong with this fucking place?
Maybe they will though. Maybe
I
They
don't know.
never do the right thing.
I haven't asked though. That's why I haven't.
Why don't we do this? Because Roland does. Roland's very professional. We'll ask for Roland.
Yeah, of course.
Who we should contact Bruce's management and ask if they can. Look,
Would
I know
it
there's a
hurt
lot
if
of
he's in the
fans.
fishbowl, making it 21 instead of 20 people.
Or would they at least arrange for a quick? We'll find out. Maybe they will. They've been good with stuff
God
like that.
bless you, Jimmy. God
Why not?
bless you. I say why not
Maybe
too.
they make the special exception
We'll see.
and sign my
They're
photo.
weird about all that stuff. We'll see.
Yeah, but it was a fun event though.
Bill Burr do well?
He killed.
course
Bruce,
he did.
Bruce loved him too. He said.
Really?
Oh yeah, who
Bruce
said?
saw you. Yeah, who said Bill? We listened.
Who said that
Yeah,
Bruce loved Bill?
Everybody loves. I mean, he killed.
No,
No, you can't lump Bill and Bruce.
No,
with
somebody
everybody.
came up and said that he was down in the green room laughing, which
Oh, that's
gave me
great.
a thrill. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Definitely gave me a thrill.
What are they going to say? The negative guy, negative friend who ruins everything.
He was probably just being nice.
Yeah, come on, Bill. The volume wasn't even on. He was rehearsing. All right. That's great. He'll remember you now, though.
He laughed at everybody.
But, dude, he'll fucking... You have something to talk to him now, because I guarantee you, if you'd see him, he'd remember you. But if not, you just go, we were on that benefit. He'd go, yeah, I loved you.
Tony Benn was awesome.
I got a
He just-
feeling his life's big enough that he's probably already forgotten me.
Forgotten about things.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was obsessed with you and was Googling you and was just ordering all your shit?
Oh, yeah, and then he listened to this show and heard some of our impressions of him.
Yeah,
That's the
perhaps.
funniest thing about being on this show. The amount of times I've run into somebody that I actually realize that I kind of like. But then I just think to an episode of this, I'm like, oh God, I hope he's not a fan of the show.
I certainly fucked that up. Yeah.
I can't even like.
It really makes it
the
hard.
The combination of stuff I've done in specials, and then being on this show. I swear to God, it's at like 12% of the people I meet. I'm
Bridge burner.
This show makes it really hard to run in those circles.
Yeah,
really hard.
You don't know what you've said and who's gotten back to.
I was in the Brooklyn diner one time, and there was something going on where Tyra Banks forgot to tip. She thought her people did, so she came running in to do it. It was this big sort of media thing, and the person I was with was funny. They go, "Oh, hey, dude, are you a big fan of Beyonce?" And he turned around, pointed, and I go, "That's Tyra Banks." And then immediately, I'm looking at him like, wow, she's beautiful. And then immediately I just thought of, oh, God, fatty, fat, cow, whatever the hell.
Fatty, pig, fatty. I was like, huge banner outside where she did her show in L.A.
God. Yeah.
I love that guy to this day for doing that.
That's bad,
Oh, my God. That went everywhere. All right, we should take a break.
One.
We got Bill Burr in studio. Roland, thank you. We got Ginger Lynn. She should be here. Well, she's here.
Oh, she here? I'll go
so she'll join the program next. And we got Mick Foley coming by and Chris Morris as well, the director.
Cannot wait to talk to that guy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Best comedy I've seen in years and years.
Yeah, 4 Lines is the name of the movie, and we'll talk to the director, Chris Morris, later on today. But first, this.
Fucking good choice.
What is this, Jimmy?
Dr. Alibi. This is Lemmy on Slash's CD. It's unbelievable.
That is a good CD. I tracked through that Slash CD. It was nice. What's going on in your world, Bill? Anything? The elections, conspiracies, sports?
Oh, the elections were hilarious.
Hilarious, right?
I was just talking to Anthony about that, how 2 years ago they got all the Republicans out. We're like, we're going to show them. Now something's going to get done, and then 2 years later, they get rid of all the Democrats. It's like, don't you realize that the people got money on both sides of the ball? It's just going to continue. Do you think these guys are going to get the bankers?
No.
These are the guys who are going to like reverse NAFTA and try to get like manufacturing back in this country so we have jobs again.
So then they'll be out in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep going back and forth.
Yeah, the whole thing is just, it's hilarious.
It's the system, man. It's broke.
So what I do, so I sit there, and then people tell me that when I vote for these guys who say, we got to audit the Federal Reserve. We got to get manufacturing. Dude, it's a waste of a vote. And then these fucking morons vote either Democrat or Republican and act like that isn't a waste of a vote. And they're on their knees blowing the same people. Man,
there's some petrifying stuff there going on with the Fed and how they're buying up bonds. They're buying up U.S. bonds with money that they're just printing. So they print about in between $500 billion or $1 trillion, probably about $800 billion, and then buy bonds for the country.
Yeah,
but it's like borrowing money from yourself.
It's not even built on sand anymore. I don't even know what it's built on.
No,
I don't get how it's not like $90 for a bottle of ketchup at this point.
And they say groceries are already going up. I heard on the news this morning, like groceries are taking this quantum leap up in price that we haven't seen in quite a while. And the value of the dollar could drop upwards of 20%.
Yeah, no, that's that whole shit about getting us on the Amero. Dude, and all the super rich people and all the people in the know are all investing outside. Like, they just seem to be like George Bush, W, bought a bunch of land down in South America. It's like, why? What do you know
what's going on?
that I don't know? Like, what is,
Now, remember, we were talking about the Amero, as far as, the Europe's got the euro, and we're talking about the Amero, and we're sitting there thinking, like, well, fuck that, because Mexico's got worthless money. And we're pretty much on par with Canada now, though, because the value of our dollar has dropped so much. So you just, drop it down a little more, keep dropping the dollar.
That's what they're going to do.
And it's fucked up. It's like, and then we'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah, Namero sounds fine by me.
Yeah, this one is worth. This one actually is worth something, and then you'll go on to that, dude. It's a.
How is the Amero bad? I'm not saying it's not bad, but I don't know enough about finance.
Because the dollar is pretty much the only thing this country has left.
No, because what you're doing, what you're going to do is, but then you're going to have one bank that's going to, right now you have the Federal Reserve that prints the money for this country.
Yeah.
But then what you're going to have is one bank is then going to be printing the money.
The World Bank.
For Mexico. It would be Mexico, America, and then Canada,
and then Europe,
and then you crash that thing, Yeah, and then what it is, they're just loan sharkers. That's all they are. If you ever break down your mortgage,
that's sickening.
If you it's disgusting. And you should try to pay it down as quickly as you can, regardless of what your accountant says. Because you can get the shit taxed out of you. Good, but it's not interest. I don't care. I'll sleep on a futon, but I am not going to be sitting here as your fucking indentured servant. All right? Buying you a new pair of loafers every 20 minutes with the interest on my thing. Yeah.
Every 20 minutes.
I dumped every fucking dollar in the last few years into my principal because I hated that I was giving these scumbags, and you're always going to pay interest. They loan me money. Fair enough. They should get something back for that. But the idea of paying over 30 years.
It's ridiculous. And they front-end load the interest. Like, you don't even have. Like, people think if you pay it off in 17 years, you got them. It's like, dude, you already gave them 90% of the interest during those first 11, 12 years. It's like you have like 7, 8 years to really pay that thing down. The big thing is if you can cut into your principal, you are dropping the interest.
Yes.
You have to kick the shit out of it, though.
Oh, I know.
But the problem is they get you in those things like your job basically as a minion is to take on as much debt as you can without capsizing. And if you don't, they tax the shit out of you. It's like because you have the choice to not invest in that type of stuff, but basically through basic financial dicks in the ass, you will run through the hole they want you to run through. You're like, which one has the smallest cock? That one. Okay. That's the dumb shit where I ended up putting myself under all that shit on Wall Street. I had no idea what it was. That's the crap table. And these guys, they shake it up like a fucking ant farm. They talk. They know it's coming. They pull this shit out. I slam down on the pavement, and then they come. Hey, I'll give you 8 cents for whatever the hell you just bought, and then they just shoot it back up. And every once in a while they'll get someone like a Martha Stewart. That's the bone. Like they're actually cracking down. They'll get the guy who played fucking Matlock, and they'll throw him in jail, right? Because he made money on some sort of Disney theme park. But they don't get these bankers and these idiots every 2 years. They get rid of the Democrats and Republicans, and nobody's going after the bankers. Nobody's going after these corporations. Nobody's doing shit.
What do you think the purpose is for keeping people in debt? Like, I know it sounds like a simple question.
You can't storm the castle.
Is that what it is?
You don't have time to light a torch.
Because you're constantly thinking that I got to work, I got to be docile, I got to keep, stay in line just so I can pay off this crap.
Yeah, I started to read about this stuff, got all the way to reading that book, The Case Against the Fed and all that, and it was just so overwhelmingly depressing. I just said to hell with it. I got a dog, got a new CD.
Oh, my God.
How are you, people?
Look at it, when guests are just coming in.
Wow, this is awesome.
I'm sitting there going, why is my story losing focus? Why is everybody... It's almost like a legendary wrestler walked in or something.
and Ginger Lynn on top of it.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, sorry, Bill. We started looking at Ginger Lynn.
And that's how the world's going to end. But let's move on.
Exactly. That's a prime example of what you were just talking about.
The Illuminati just sent them in.
It's like, quick, send them in. Bill's on to us. Bill's talking about banking and
just
the
wrestler? No, and the porn star.
The Fed and everything.
At the same time.
Get him on both levels.
It's always good when Ginger Lynn's in studio to be sitting next to Bill Burr, too. That's the luck I have.
You want to switch seats?
No.
We could do that
Come on,
easily.
Jimmy.
Bill's not as distracting. I like Bill.
Come on, Jim.
Meanwhile, you guys have kind of banished me over here on the corner.
No, look at
Why is Mick over there? Come on, Mick.
We feel bad, Mick.
I feel left out.
Look at you lost weight.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll find it.
You want to move him to the table? We can squeeze in.
Yeah, drop a couple of these.
Let's squeeze him in.
Get a goddamn
He
chair.
wants to trade? I'll sit over there. Provided nothing horrific has happened there in the last 10 days.
Do you guys know that Ginger and I are tight?
Really?
Then why doesn't she sit on your lap?
I can do that. Are you okay with that?
I am.
All right, then why don't you get out?
Why wouldn't he be? Who wouldn't be?
Come on, Mick.
I'm not wearing diapers like the last time I saw you.
Wow. Why are you wearing diapers?
We've got history.
Finish your surgery.
I completely forgot about the Fed.
I'm over and sit on your lap and tell.
Wow, come on over here.
A hell of a career.
Oh, there we go.
Right?
Just,
all right, there's
look at that.
Hey, Mick.
Hi, Ginger.
How do you guys know each other?
Mick came into my show that I was doing on Playboy on Sirius when I was doing it with Christy Canyon.
Yes.
and we actually ended up. I thought it would be cute to wrestle with Mick. So
you wrestled a little bit.
I didn't know what to
Did
wear.
you smack her in the face with a chair?
So
hey, it's the only thing I know.
I have to tell you, I had never
Put that
heard.
sock on his dick.
I did not. I was not aware of the freedoms that being on Sirius satellite allowed performers. And I was in the green room listening to Christy and Ginger, and they were you were performing Cunnilingus on Christy as part of a bet.
Wow.
And Cunnilingus. I was eating your pussy, honey.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Can I say that here?
Yes, yes. We actually prefer it in any context.
You're blushing now.
I'm blushing because I realized Sam is a video camera. I could have other side. Well, I said, no, honey, we just pretended that she was sitting on my lap.
That's for Sam's personal catalog, believe me.
Here, I'll move on.
No, I enjoyed it. And,
Ridiculous.
And I was really thinking about running out the door. Opening the green room door, just saying this is a mistake, and running out. And when I walked in on Ginger and Christy's world, the first thing Christy said was, "Mick, you spent a lot of time on the beach today. That face is kind of red." And but then it was literally like magic there, right? Like I was supposed to be on for 15 minutes, and I went to 3 hours.
I find that hard to believe that two porn girls licking each other's pussies would be a fun place to be,
Yeah, you didn't sell it well enough for everybody.
Wait, the show is...
No, wait, but I want to hear about the wrestling, because I heard Ginger say that she was wearing diapers. I picked up on that.
You know, I've been practicing martial arts for about 20 years, and I thought, Mick Foley, okay, I can take Mick, but he's a little bit bigger than me, and I thought, well, how can I distract him in the best way? So Christy and I took our tops off, and we put diapers on, so we did adult diper wrestling.
That'll do it.
Can I
Mick, you're 6'5".
An adult diaper match. You getting diapers. I said get those diapers. $40 million the bitch couldn't even win.
I don't know who won, Mick. Do you remember?
I remember Ginger kind of whispering to me right before we went on. She was like, "Don't worry, we won't hurt you."
Wow.
And they had a safety word so that if things got out of hand.
What was it, coming?
She gave me the safety. She goes, "How about your safety word is I love Christy's big titties." And so I never was in a position where I had to say those words until I was home by myself later that evening. And said the safety word over and over.
Damn.
But I'm going to make a shocking admission here, and this is nothing that Ginger doesn't know, is that for anyone who has never been in a situation where they're diaper wrestling with two, not just porn stars, but icons.
Yeah.
You know, and Ginger's cool with this. She knows that Christy was my girl, that I am a monogamous masturbator. But that, I'd certainly caught a Ginger Lynn film over the years, but I find these two iconic performers who are writhing on me. And I could only think of my physicals in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade going out for sports, where the guy's gonna feel your balls, and you're not supposed to be aroused in any way, but you're hoping that you're not like shrinking unto yourself.
You need just enough.
Just enough. And
not embarrassing.
And while they're down, there was some incidental contact made with my genitals.
Oops.
Yeah, well,
and I'm like,
wrestling.
and I'm that same thing. I'm like, please don't do this to me. Nothing. I had nothing.
How horrible was your dick?
It was like pulling the head in the sand trick.
How awful. They had such high expectations,
and I felt
too.
bad for the girls because I didn't want them to take it personally.
Yeah. It was just little nerves.
Yeah.
You were a little nervous.
Did they change your name to Androgynous Kind?
See, I don't remember it that way.
How do you know?
Wait,
I remember that you were quite impressive in all areas.
Wow, maybe you're selling yourself short.
So I'm thinking if that was
Maybe
crawled
his
back
wife
up
is
inside,
listening.
oh my goodness, I don't know if I could handle it if it wasn't.
They probably had a raging hard on, but he knows his wife's listening.
Yeah, he had to tell his wife, it was terrible.
I just didn't find it exciting, honey.
All I could do was just think of you, sweetheart.
Yeah, I thought of our wedding and how this,
the day-to-day monotony of this relationship.
How long, when was the last film you did?
My last film I actually was in the spring of this year.
Oh, wow. You still working? Okay.
No, I stopped.
Oh, you did?
No, I did. I worked, I think it was March. It was just released last week. It's called Saw. It's the porn version of Saw.
Okay.
First scene that I ever did 27 years ago was with Ron Jeremy. And believe it or not, I still stayed in porn. I don't know why.
Yeah. Did he smell? People, he's a buddy of mine too, but people say he smelled. He would get a little gamey after a shoot.
Yeah,
Gamey.
not just after a shoot. He's gotten better because my last scene ever was with Ronnie again in the movie Saw.
Ooh, that's a perfect bookend.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
And I thought Rocky Balboa went over the high. This is
Begin and end the series with the same scene.
Right.
You know, Ronnie has he wears the same sweatpants pretty much every day for the last 10 years.
That's my kind of guy.
Yeah, but you might want to wash him in between. You don't smell funny. So he does have kind of a stench on occasion. But
now, where is the stench? Is it his chest hair, or his body, his balls?
It's kind of the whole thing, and then he covers it up with not deodorant, but cologne.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to be careful because I'm doing a radio show
He's
with him
old
later
school.
today.
He's old school.
Why don't you got enough juice in this business to be like, can you bathe before you do that to me?
But I didn't work with him in between, so we had a 26-year space that we didn't work.
You thought maybe you cleaned up.
Yeah.
I thought maybe, and then
Can I
it
draw a
wasn't as
wrestling
bad.
parallel here?
Sure.
Yeah, I was on the record, and a few fans thought that I was disrespecting Stone Cold Steve Austin by saying, when asked who the hardest hitters were, I said, there was a guy named Vader, who really racked your brains with those forearms. He'd come in with left to right, left, and just when you thought you'd kind of go with him, he'd hit you with 3 straight rights. But he was like another generation, and I said something like, but I'll tell you what, when that crowd was going and Austin's adrenaline was really running, being on the receiving end of his comeback punches was no day at the park. And then I said, but, you couldn't say anything because he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. You couldn't go by, hey, kid, you want to take it a little easier on me? Forget about the crowd and the fact that all these people are here to see you and that you're putting my kids through college. Take it easy on those punches. Same thing with Ron Jeremy. You really can't bring it up because he is the Stone Cold Steve Austin of porn.
That works.
He actually looks more like the Captain Lou Albano.
So the last scene you did was with Jerry. Was there a period where you stopped working when you first started?
Yes, a long period. I made my first 69 films in a 2-year, 3-month space. It wasn't intentional. But I did. It just happened.
69.
I think I actually had you in the 69 position last time I saw you.
And that's when absolutely
That's
nothing.
how I won.
What?
Damn. True. Well, something about a diaper in your face probably wasn't too sexy.
How many years did you take off?
I might have lost the diaper at that point.
Well, don't fall.
But I took a 13-year, I stopped, thought I'd never come back, came back for a couple of years, made another 7 or 8 films, stopped for 10, came back a little over a year ago.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? The industry, it's just not what it used to be. I love sex. I love passion. I love everything that the build up and the kissing and then the nasty and the nice and all the different, And when I came back, I did a few movies, and this is why I quit. I was on a set with a guy, and I'm now in the MILF category. So I get there and I walk in, and I like to find out what turns you on, what you like. And I went up and I said, hi, I'm Ginger, and we're going to be working together. What do you like? And he goes, I don't talk to performers before we work together. And he's like 18 or 19. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe he's going to have a little difficulty, and, I might make him uncomfortable. So I'll let him have his little time that he needs. And we start the scene, and I'm on my knees, and I'm
sucking his dick?
Sucking his dick. Well, I start to, and he goes, whoa, that's not how you do it. And I stopped, and I looked at the camera. It was one of those things where... And I looked at him and I said, honey, I've been doing this longer than you've been alive. I have awards for this. Shut the fuck up. And it ruined the whole... It was just awful.
The whole vibe is ruined,
It was, and...
That's not
maybe
how you do it?
What did he want?
Was his dick in your mouth?
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think I won't say his name, Mikey Butter.
Mikey
Butter.
I guess his thing is you want him to do it really slow, but I have my thing in the way I start and the way I go, and it wasn't his, but you could have said, baby, I like this a little better.
She's got a way.
If you would have asked you to slow down a little bit, but nicely.
I would have, you know what? I'm accommodating. I would have absolutely have done that. And had we spoken ahead of time, you could have said, the tip's really sensitive. Stay away from that, or don't touch my balls. But I'm not going to go in and be, I give a good blowjob. I really do. So
there's only one way to find out. It's not about me. It's about.
Can I ask a pointed question after I just want to mention my book so I get out of the way.
Why? This is a perfect segue to your book, My Raging Hard On.
A hardcore journal. In my last book, I did talk about the first time I was on the show with Christy and Ginger and how I could never run for political office.
That's pretty much you give up.
Once they've got photographs of you simulating 69 with
you give up any
chance. Porn icons.
Those pictures come out, it's all over.
There are a few Christy mentions in the book.
You have to mention Christy.
I love Christy.
We really do.
We all do.
And can I tell you,
Please.
One of my fondest sexual memories, but this is after I ask you a question as an expert in the field of adult. How important is incorporating the balls?
How important is incorporating the ball? The ball. Comments.
Yes.
I love balls. I think it's a personal preference, and it depends on what you do with them. My new favorite thing with my boyfriend, I like to stretch the sack, put it over my face, and kind of lick through the skin. So
how big is this sack?
Really?
You know, it's not that big, but I don't know what.
His name is Santa. It's a red velour sack.
There's just something about
wings.
I don't know. I've been around for a while, and I'm always exploring and finding new things. So not to where I'm going to hurt, but
silly putty bag.
Just kind of. He doesn't have a big ball sack. It's just I just thought, well, what can I do with this? So I kind of stretch it over and lick through the.
Wow, that's fucking nice.
It's
that's
so
unique.
So if you like it, I can add that in.
All right.
Kind of
falls under the term of incorporating, right?
There's nothing good than the female reach around is pretty good. If you're going at it and she wants to reach around and give a little jiggle down there.
Always nice.
That's
or just, when you're giving a blowjob, to touch them gently and play with them. And
no one's going to argue with that.
No,
You're not going to get a fight.
But flicking is no good, right?
Flicking, not good.
No. You don't want to hurt the
partisan
balls.
politics.
You don't want to hurt them.
I like them.
An uppercut. You don't want an uppercut.
Yeah. I like them touched softly, held, cupped.
Yeah.
I like when a girl acts like because I have small balls. I like when a girl acts like they're big, like when she holds my balls and she goes, ooh.
See, but there's something to be said about small ones, too, because I can get them both in my mouth at the same time.
Easily, yeah.
Oh.
And then kind of juggle them with my tongue.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm all cock.
And have a phone conversation. It isn't garbled.
I don't normally admit this, but I have small balls, Ginger.
You got small balls, Mick. You didn't need to admit it. She felt it.
We'll go from wrestling to juggling.
Old fucking wasp nest balls.
Can I attest to the professionalism of Ginger and her former co-host, Christy?
Yes.
Are you telling people why you're here and what you're starting?
Well, I had that in mind,
sure.
but then I sat down and I was so excited. I'm the only girl in the room with a bunch of guys, and I got excited, and then you're here,
right,
and that was
bang.
so. It was just. I still
That's
haven't
not how
done
you
that.
do
I
it.
just plugged my new book, Countdown to Lockdown, and I think you can talk about your new show coming.
You know how bored she'd be? By the excuse my interruption. Do you know how bored she'd be? Fucking all of us average fucks. What are we gonna do?
Oh, I teach
average.
No, you know what? I prefer civilian sex. It's much better because porn stars, they're robotic. It's automatic. ABC 1 2 3 fucking. There's a lot of slamming going on. You have to open up to the camera. No, it's
all right.
Porn on
regular,
film. It's not real sex. You've got real people who are passionate. You want to. There's a whole different rhythm that goes on. So no, we would be fine.
You're marking.
But back in the days when you were working, when you first started,
your lines.
Who would you say was the best fuck? Because back in the older days, there was no Viagra, there was no cabbage, there was none of that stuff.
They were real people.
Yeah, they had to stay hard.
Tom Byron, always going to be one of my favorites.
Classic.
Yeah, I got a
good guy.
Jamie Gillis. Jamie had a whole other thing going on. He was so sick and twisted.
Yeah,
that was kind of a nice.
He talked a good dirty streak, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I like that.
I heard Paul Thomas was a real perv too.
He never did it for me. Never did it for me.
Only the old timers.
What about Russ Francis? You ever work with him?
The Cleveland, the New England.
Oh, he's the guy.
Played tight end for the Patriots. The late 70s, but he had a great porn star mustache.
But one thing, I will go back to why I'm actually here. There's a couple things going on that I'm doing. Sirius has launched a new channel, the Spice Channel. Yes. I was on Playboy with Christy Canyon for several years. The Spice Channel launched Monday night, 7 p.m. Los Angeles time. I had the launch show. So we've got 7 to 11 is my show every Monday night, and it's a whole different it's another series channel. Whereas when I was on Playboy, we had safe words and we were able to go to a certain place. On the Spice channel, I have no limits. I can pretty much do whatever I want. Well, like Monday, I played Will My Pussy Melt This? Wonderful game all by myself. Velveeta cheese. Awesome. When it came out, it was shaped just like the inside of me.
You put Velveeta cheese in your vag?
Why the fuck are we talking?
Really?
Why are we talking if you're up for something? We got to do something today.
How come we can't do it?
Did you guys see the Dow just dropped 15 points?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
We got Ginger Lynn in studio.
And the funny thing is, I normally don't like Velveeta.
I'm not a big fan either, but I just the crayon didn't work so well. I think with more time, I could have melted the crayon. Milky Way.
No. We're confused
Nice
because
body heat.
we have a no insertion policy on our show, but you're sticking stuff up your...
She's just doing it. She's not listening. She's just doing what she wants to do. That's what she should do.
Is there? Well, we have a no insertion policy as well, but only I believe that's with actual body parts. I couldn't put
All right, let's melt some shit today, man.
If I went try to melt my cock.
I don't.
We couldn't do that.
No, we could not do that. And
I'd love to with the heel of my boot.
What if
Can
I
you
said,
melt this
Ginger,
at the end of my cock?
try to melt my heart?
Hopeless romantic.
We don't want to...
Makes a hopeless
Ginger
romantic.
is definitely a very good talker, but we should do something. Wait, Ginger, can we do one of your bits today on our show? We got a nice audience.
I didn't bring anything to melt, but can I make one more shameless plug?
Yes,
of course.
The other thing that I'm doing, all of the ladies in the adult film industry, we've been around for, some of us, 6 months, 6 days, 6 years. But everything we wear on film, we wear one time. Before you do the scene, if you're with somebody you like, your panties get wet, and it's a lot of fun. Well, after we wear that article for one time, there's nothing to do with it. I used to sell them on eBay, can't do that anymore. I guess it's a hazard.
Really?
So I've started GingerLynnAuctions.com. I've got about 25 girls right now, porn stars that are posting everything that they wear in film on the site.
To be sold.
Some
to be sold.
Now, is this a direct result of like the tube eights and those types of things, just out of curiosity, or is this just taking advantage of the internet? A little bit of both. Because I was wondering, because
they've lost some money.
Yeah, like I just put out a stand-up DVD, and it's like you're trying to sell as many as you can before people upload it, and they start. It's just amazing.
Well, you can't upload the articles, right?
The articles, and there's
That's
a million porn
saying.
sites where you can watch anything. The day a movie comes out, it's everywhere. My panties, the ones I'm wearing right now, there's one pair.
Right.
If I hump something in here, my panties get wet. They're the only ones that I'm going to have that I was on the Opie and Anthony show humping whoever or whatever I humped, and they're
With
up
wet
on
panties.
GingerLynnAuctions.com. So
do you hear what she's saying?
Do
She
you
wants
put
to
them in a
hump
little
something. Why are we
Do
still
you put them in a
talking?
Ziploc bag to retain?
I do. I Ziploc them up every time I do one of my shows on my series shows when I'm
Sealed
done.
for freshness.
Yes.
They're
Put it in Tupperware and burp it.
Wait, your show's every Monday through Friday? Well, it says the Jerk Box with Ginger Lynn, Monday through Friday.
Jerkbox is Monday through Friday. It's Sirius 108 XM 248. I'm only on Monday nights as of now from 7 to 11.
Who's on the rest of the week?
Give up
We've
on
got
civilization laugh.
Taylor Wayne. We have Debbie Diamond. We have Jessica Bangkok. We have Kylie Ireland. Gosh, you don't know that we just started Monday, so
This is like Playboy Radio in a way, kind of, but a little bit more explicit.
It's cool. Yes, it's the naughty version of that.
And Christy ships over to...
Let's just picture making a movie of the journey.
Also.
I think Christy
the same
Canyon will
thing.
be on Spice in the near future. Yes.
We got to do something with Ginger Lynn. She's up. She's up for something. What can we do with you today, Ginger?
Well, I was hoping. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men in the studio, and you guys can't think of anything. Mick, any
Mick,
ideas?
what would you like Ginger Lynn to do? Melt something with her pussy, or what do you want?
I have some haiku poetry that
Melt my new DVD, available on iTunes.
There you go.
Hey, Phil Burr.
Why can't we think of something? Come on.
I didn't bring
Because
any
it's been
props.
so long since
It
we've
has been
had
so long.
anything
You're absolutely right.
that we could do.
I think I might have some candy left over from Halloween in the office. Should we go see what we got? Maybe we can melt
Yeah,
something.
that sounds good.
Maybe
Now,
like a
just
sugar daddy.
Yeah.
For that? Sugar daddy?
Let's see what kind of candy you got in the office.
We could try that. The thing is, it's a little bit messy. I
we
usually
don't
bring
care.
a paint tarp.
Oh, we don't care. we like
yeah.
messy.
Yeah, that's
we just,
fine.
that rug. You know what that rug has seen? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, can I point to the professionalism
Yes,
of Ginger Lynn?
Yes,
Of
Mick,
course.
And
I
the
love
passion
you.
with which she brings to her
Absolutely.
trade. For my viewing pleasure, I was asked to do the commentary while Ginger attempted to manipulate Christy into climaxing. Do you remember this?
I do remember
and
this.
I believe it may have even been her offhand, not even her good hand.
Damn.
And Christy had to keep saying to me, radio, so that I would actually speak, because my mouth was just wide open. And what I was watching Ginger climaxing as she helped Christy reach orgasm. And
Wasn't it great?
I never saw someone that turned on to turn on somebody
Wasn't
else.
it great to be able to comment on it, though, without hearing in your ear, talk about a clitoris! What are you doing, Mick? You don't know how to announce this properly!
We're Team Mick. We're not Team Vince there, Mick Foley.
Vince would be blasted in his ear about what he's not doing announcing.
Yeah. It was Christy gently looking at me going, radio. Like, meaning I have
We're
to...
on the radio. You talk about how she's doing about digital manipulation. You better talk about it, Foley.
No, Mick, I don't want to get you in any trouble here. You're a happily married man with 4 children. Countdown to Lockdown is just come out.
Right.
Now, if I'm running around putting things inside of me, this might ruin your reputation, and I do love you enough to not want to do that.
I'm promoting a project. And so, I don't want to be away from home for this many days, but I'm doing it for the book.
For the book.
As long as I'm not actively participating, or
then
cheering you on.
it's
As
fine.
long as I'm an observer, I don't
then you'll be
object
fine.
to doing anything.
I got a wrestling question.
Yes.
The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. What do you know about that?
Wow, man! Somebody
what do you
sent
know
me
about
the link.
that?
I did not know that they had.
Did they have
bad
history?
blood. I did not know because
Okay.
I wasn't there at the time, but it certainly looked like they had history. I don't think Brock was in any mood to play along with a storyline.
No, not after that thrashing.
That's a weird place to start a storyline.
And I would not want to be like in Brock Lesnar's head right now because it's great for him that he's got an outlet for all that rage he appears to have. In the MMA ring.
He would murder the fucking Undertaker. He's a murderer.
Yeah, that'd be and the Undertaker's one tough individual. Like Taker said, if this was 20 years ago, he would have ventured into MMA. But there was no MMA when he got involved.
Of course.
He's actually got involved in 85 or 86.
But you talk to people. What are they saying?
They're saying that they had some heat over something.
Do you know? You just don't want to say?
Why would he reference it after the guy lost a championship fight?
Yeah, you want to do this now? Like,
The guy just lost a real fight.
We couldn't see what Brock was saying. I mean, from that vantage point, Brock walked by. He obviously said,
wanted out of there.
I think Brock just looked at him when he said it. It didn't look like Brock, again, because of the way he referenced it, Brock kind of looked almost like, what? Like, really?
What happened? Am I completely out of
MMA.
Brock Lesnar lost.
I know he lost.
To Cain Velasquez, and as he was walking away, the Undertaker
was being interviewed,
and he goes, You want to do this? It was something like that, and then Brock just kind of looked. You want to show Dan? It's a very, very fast clip.
Yeah, they were looking at each other a little.
It was a weird moment, though, but to me it seemed like the guy just lost
really
a fight.
Strange moment, and nothing else has come out about it. So, I thought Mick might have some inside info.
No chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
You guys have Belladonna on your station?
No, we don't. I haven't seen her
She
in
does good
quite
radio.
some time.
She's great.
Does she?
Yeah, her and her husband do it.
You know what? I'll have to give her a call. I would love to have her on.
We just witnessed.
I'm a little bit shocked. I thought Brock was going to come out strong like he did. I thought Kane's chances would be better if they went into the 4th or 5th round. I'm a little bit shocked. I thought Brock might have got to him early, but you know what? Kane's a hell of a fighter, and he did a hell of a job.
Do you think, considering the size difference, that he'd be able to manhandle him like that?
No, I didn't think so. I think Brock's strength and size would overmatch him. I thought he would have to go into a cardio battle, and I'm actually very surprised.
It's almost like you're at a loss for words here.
You want to do it?
There was Brock Lesnar right there. What did you just say to him?
It's kind of a personal thing. I think maybe he needs to. I think he needs to train a little harder.
Are you guys cool?
personal.
Then why'd you mention it during a television interview?
Because he's hyping. They're hyping something.
Something's
that's
going
good.
on.
Yeah, that
I think he was saying, like, do you want to do it? Like, are we still going out to that movie afterwards?
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah,
just
drive on. Whose car
And
was
look,
taken?
as far as I'm concerned, whenever you use the word doing it,
It's always sex.
that's right. Because
That's what I think of.
earlier, Ginger
doing
asked me that question, and I
Want to do it?
you want to do it?
Do we have the
We're gonna finally
candy?
kill this tension between us.
Danny, we got the candy or what?
As it turns out, all the candy has been eaten.
Oh,
But
Rock.
I did find a vuvuzela.
She's not gonna melt that. Come on.
Maybe she could like
Come on.
blow it or something.
yeah. You know, do you queef?
Do I what?
Queef?
Ew.
I see that we got the vuvuzela, so I'm thinking. I'm just trying
And
to
you
think on the
queef
spot.
on
You know,
command.
occasionally every woman queefs, but if you're a regular queefer, you probably have a really big puss. You know, I've
we don't wanna
queefed.
start
I can
that
think of
rumor.
once in like the last couple of years.
Damn.
So
we
no, I'm
basically
not.
want you to play that with your pussy.
We're
trying here.
hard.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
next
I'm
World
trying to
Cup
think of
comes in
something
3.5
here, too.
years.
Huh?
Next
Very
World
hard to
Cup
do.
is in 3.5 years. We want to start getting the fan base moving.
We have. I hear that there's candy en route.
Oh, candy
okay.
and
En route.
In the meantime, Mick, what's in the book? What do you got in there? I know you've written a lot of books. What's this one about?
I'm thinking about the candy.
Believe
Can I see the book?
This is called
Yeah, go
filler,
ahead,
Mick. Until the candy arrives, we don't really even give a shit
You
about
know,
your book.
there's some of those sensitive stories you guys tease me about.
Yeah.
I covered up with some sophomoric humor and some violence, but I try to make some serious. I do make some serious points in there, and have a couple chapters I'm really proud of. And there's a chapter about visiting that little boy in West Africa that you guys hounded me endlessly.
Yeah,
This
we
is not
really
a
did.
novel. This is real.
Yeah. This is.
Okay, I
It's
thought
like
it
a
was a
6-week journal. Takes you behind the scenes to the build up as I try to get ready to take on Sting. So it's similar in feel to the last one I did, but it's a completely different story because everybody involved is completely different company. It's my first post WWE book.
Oh, right.
Even though WWE mentioned my book 3 times.
Yeah, what was that
on
about?
their show?
What's going on
You know
there?
what? I think I just came out and defended Linda McMahon from the criticism of her being associated with us because I took that kind of personally. Like,
Yeah,
Like-
she really did. Like, I thought it was ridiculous that what's his name? Friggin' old Dick Blumenthal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was using the WWF and WWE against her, like she's the one.
She kicked she kicked Jim Ross in the genitals, and that's being shown
It's like,
on
stop.
the air
It's-
as reason why she wouldn't make a good candidate.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ugly. I was in Florida for the World Series, and you had to sit through like back to back to back to back negative campaign ads about different the same candidates. There'd be one about this one running for governor, counter it with the other one. It appears to be the same voiceover guy doing every negative ad in the country.
Best. They got through by lying. And then the music, the ominous music that they've.
That was like in California. Everybody running for governor. You didn't know what anybody stood for. All you knew was just everybody was evil.
Everyone else
evidently
was a
who was
scumbag,
running.
yeah. And then they just tell you like. This guy, and then the music goes ding 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 ding, and this guy's got 3 children, and he's been married for 18 years, and it's a wonderful guy, but nothing about platform or anything. And the other guys are all scumbags.
All right, let me see.
Liars,
Norton came
cheats.
across something.
What
do we have?
No, Jimmy.
What do we have?
It was just
Came across his leg looking at Ginger.
I see the look Jimmy's giving.
I happen to open up Countdown to Lockdown 22 days, and I open up on March 28th on board Continental Flight 1033 New York to Houston. I've taken that flight many times. And I'm looking, and this is what jumps out at me. You were thinking that was a long way to go for free, and that you thought they were going to fly you in coach.
Yeah.
And then she said, "We love you. We're flying you first class." You don't always fly first class. You're Mick Foley. You're a wrestler.
I do sometimes. I mean, when it's official wrestling business, TNA, WWE. But I'm looking now at going over to the UK on the 10th. I've got a Daily Show spot. I'm going to be the guest on the Daily Show the 10th. Nice. And I'll have to leave what hopefully will be a triumphant moment and then sit in 27C all the way to London.
Why?
Man, because I'm funding the trip myself. And while I make a great argument to the people I work for that I deserve to sit in business, when it comes to actually footing the bill myself,
Are you a
I'll
cheapskate?
suffer in silence. Oh man, I'm legendary.
Are you legendary?
I love it.
I think I have
Yeah.
heard that he's a legendary
Yeah.
cheapskate.
Yeah, you're a cheapskate.
Why?
Well, you know, if you look,
Don't you have miles you can upgrade with?
I've been working on it, man. It's hard, Norton.
Yeah, but dude, first class and business class tickets in defense are just so ridiculous.
They really are expensive, but
they are.
when you're
Get that extra $2,000 on your credit card. It's like,
This is an 8-hour trip. I mean, I
He's
can
Mick
suffer
Foley.
a book. Ginger's creating memories for me now that I'm going to refer to over there. And if you see, I donated the advance, 100% of the advance to two groups that work with victims of sexual abuse. This is where I drag your show down here.
drag your show. What do you mean? You're sexying it up.
It's half the female guests we've had on this show.
So you
yeah, if it wasn't for those creeps, we wouldn't have the freaks coming on here.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the groups is RAIN, Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Opie.
And the other one is the group that I sponsor kids through. The money involved goes to victims of rape from the.
Wow.
But my daughter, read the flap cover. That's where they learned that Dad was donating the money. She was all over me, like, how can you be so cheap at home and then give all your money
That
away?
is a good point. Why is that?
Yeah, can we talk about your cheapness? What do you do at home
Is that
that drives your
an OCD
kids?
thing?
That drives your kids nuts?
I have not purchased anything for myself for years.
Why?
I bought
Why?
2 pairs of $15 warm-up pants because I'm on a book tour and I had to look good.
But why, Mick? It's odd. You're not broke, are you? You have money?
No. I like making money. I like saving it. I like investing
Looking
it.
at
I
it.
like giving it to places, but I don't like spending.
But how about your family notice? Are you cheap with them too?
Cheaper than they like.
No, I want examples of
That's
that.
an OCD type of thing.
Of course it is.
There's a weird, because I knew a guy like Jason, who was obsessively cheap to the point where it was sociopathic.
Right.
Like it wasn't just like being smart; it was being ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It's like you're not enjoying your money. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
Like,
I'm not nearly as bad as I used to be, because I was one of those guys who would. I was a WWE champion, and I was sleeping on couches of fans, or on the cot at the Red Roof. And you want to know? This is what made me. I'll be honest. This is the moment where I changed. This was like a defining moment for me. I slept on a couch in St. Louis, and that morning, like there must have been 15, 20 horrible-looking people coming over, knocking on the door, and I was like, well, I had the belt. I was like, well, they probably just want to see the champ. I shouldn't look down on people, no matter how scummy they may look and how early they're getting over here. And 2 days later, my friend from St. Louis calls me up to apologize for all the people coming over. I said, well, that's all right. They probably wanted to see the belt, meet the champ. And he goes, no, they weren't there to see you. And I said, what were they there for? And he said, my girlfriend's a crack dealer. And at that point, I was like, maybe the Red Roof doesn't look so.
but why did you put yourself through that? The unpleasantness of that, even if they were fans.
Yeah, because you can get a really cheap hotel. Which
But why would you?
And I've laid in those.
What's the use of money if you're not like living?
Because
great?
You never knew when it was going to run out. That was the problem.
Yeah,
So what-
never knew.
But so what if it did? You couldn't be any worse. If it ran out, you already know you can sleep with fans.
That's what I just said. You still don't sleep with your fans. I
don't get it.
Do you sleep with your
No, you sleep with your fans.
I really
You
don't.
fuck them and then leave. Then I go to my 5-star hotel suite. I leave them in their fucking shitty Datsun.
But I will. All right, in my defense, when WWE when they had me doing something promotional, they'd pick up the tab.
Sure.
And they were putting me in lesser hotels than they would the other talent.
Oh, shit.
And then
So you
I
can fuck
said,
yourself.
and they said, well, we knew you didn't like classy hotels, and I said, no, I myself may not be classy, but I have no problem in staying in a classy hotel. I like the big hotels and the nice hotels. And I've got miles. I'll spring for it.
They're
I'm pretty
write-offs,
good.
though, Mick. They're write-offs for business. They're all for your book tour. And it's like the reason I fly myself first is because most times other people fly me. So it's like I get fucking first. I get lucky in the contractual.
When you're on a book tour, you're not getting paid, but you can eat whatever you want and bill it to the company. And I don't bill anything to the company.
Why?
And I just said, I say in this book, I said, I'm sorry. I will not pay for $50 eggs, no matter who's paying for them. And I never have, and I never will.
That's a weird. I understand the idea of being smart with money, but it's like I get so lucky where I get flown. Like I'm not having to fly myself. So what? 5 or 6 flights a year.
That comes out of your end. That's going to come out of your end.
See, I need to move into.
No, when NBC flies me somewhere, or whatever. No.
Oh, not that. I mean, if you're doing like a stand-up gig, that's the thing. I realize, like, when you sit there and you go into the green room and there's the whole spread that they put out there.
It does come out.
That's all your money.
But that's why my deli trays are very small. I don't waste money. But when they give me X amount of dollars and then they give a flight buyout, I use that. And sometimes if it's 3 hours or less, I'll fly coach because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But long flights, fuck that. I'm 42. Like, what am I going to do with the? What am I wait until I'm 80 and I'm going to spend it all on one great blowjob? The fuck am I going to do with it? And I don't mean waste it on fucking $200,000 cars, but if you got to travel, you're a big dude.
Dude,
man.
I did that for like 2 months, thinking I was at the level I could fly first class, and I got that $6,000 credit card bill just in plane tickets, and I was just like, I think I'll sit in the back.
100% write off though. 100%
if it's longer than 6 hours, if I'm flying overseas, then I'll do it. Other than that, I'll sit there with my knees in my chest.
Well, you guys that are flying all the time, it is crazy to just pay for yourself in first class.
Florida's a waste because you don't really get a meal.
No,
it's not. I'm not. If it's $300 or $900, I'm not going to spend $900 to go to Florida. It's stupid.
Yeah, but he doesn't even buy clothes for himself.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about
here's
that.
the paradox.
We're not even close to normalcy here.
I will not buy clothes myself, but I will risk half the money I've made in my life to have Ginger Lynn sitting on my lap on video.
There you go. See?
Writhing uncontrollably.
See?
So there we go.
How many books?
Say goodbye to that money.
Hold on. I'm not telling this. Someone outside the studio saying someone has to go, and they're getting really obnoxious about it.
Who is it? Me?
Sorry.
I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
But they're giving like an obnoxious wrap it up. Who?
I can stay. I can stay.
Well, okay.
Well,
I
you're
jumped
distracting
off.
everybody.
She just wanted me off your lap. Now I know what it is.
I like to find the loopholes, the marriage loopholes.
Saying, that Mick's crazy about his money talk. I guess she's from the book company.
All right. Something weird was going on. It's like, come in if you have something to say. We have an open door.
Yeah. So. I want to get back on this because it's an interesting person because you're such a nice guy and you seem like a generous guy. You don't seem like a self-centered asshole.
He's charitable, but not to himself.
Were you raised poor?
We were frugal. You know, I didn't know when I was growing up.
Sounds like cube steaks to me.
A lot of cube steaks, and my friends would come over to my house and wear their winter coats. Because the heat was down like at 56 or so.
When you were a kid or as an adult?
When I was a kid.
So that horrible lesson you kind of stuck with, and it's like you're not going to run out. You got enough.
You never know.
Chip beef on toast.
But what do you need that you couldn't get if you ran out? Like couldn't you put X amount of money away and then just go, I will not touch that?
I've done that. But I just sleep easier at night knowing that I don't really need anything.
What was the last time you treated yourself? You just like to hell with it.
He doesn't.
No, I got to get in on. I got to get in on this because I think I was raised similar to Mick, where my mom convinced all of us that we were going to be on the street at any moment. Did you have that type of thing going on in your house, where the money was going to run out?
No.
My mom was frugal. I didn't get the fucking heat. None of that shit. I didn't get new clothes, new sneakers, none of that. So as I grew up, I became kind of cheap as well because I was scared that at any moment I was going to be broke. Right?
Yes. And that's, breaking into wrestling, there was absolutely no money.
Right. And
now I look at it, I get my own room, and I get a decent hotel when it's up to me. I'm not as cheap as rumor would have it. But I will not order $50 eggs, no matter who's
Yeah, but you're
picking
sleeping
up the
on
tab.
fans' couches. That's insane.
Not anymore. That's just
But
the
when you were
crap.
huge,
Yeah.
I mean, when I met Mick Foley, I was on the Long Island Railroad. He couldn't have been bigger in the WWF at the time. And he's on the fucking Long Island Railroad. I'm looking at this guy like, why aren't you getting a car to bring you into the city?
And I was thinking the same thing about you, pal. I thought this guy was successful. You're taking the train.
The radio show was pretty successful. What the fuck were we doing on that train? But we grew up very
cheap
similar.
fucks on the Long Island Railroad.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm like, that's
the Sizzler Express.
I think it's hilarious that he's thinking the same thing because I'm looking at you like he's like I think you were the champion at the time, and we're on a shitty Long Island Railroad.
I had the belt.
You had the Special with you.
Well, nobody's even mentioned my medal of
what is it?
reasonableness.
Because we think it's a Special Olympics thing. We're all
Special Olympics.
What's that medal?
Medal of reasonableness.
I was given this by Jon Stewart at the Rally to Restore Saturday.
Right,
There's only 4 of them out there.
Medal of reasonableness.
So therefore,
you were being reasonable.
That's pretty funny.
This is a reasonable question. All right, we would like Ginger to do something.
Yes, let's get it back to Ginger. Fair enough.
Do you think? I mean, this is just
an idea,
hypothetical. Would you be able to achieve orgasm on my knee?
Holy shit! Now we're talking, Ginger.
Let's get money out. What do people think?
Riding it.
And can we bet how long it would take?
Yes.
I bet she could.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt she can.
So we've got 3 yeses.
Yeah, but now
you know what? Just to keep it interesting, I'm going to say no.
All right.
Bill. Here we go. Here we go. Get your money up. There's got to be a time limit, though. Let's put some pressure here.
No, she's going to absolutely get an orgasm going. $20 a man. Mick, how long do you think it would take?
I'll bet an under over then.
How long do you think it would take her to get off on Mick Foley's knee?
What's your quickest time?
You know, by myself, I'm actually a humper, so I do this a lot.
Okay. So this is a guarantee.
not on other people. You know,
is that how? Do you come like on your stomach humping something?
I do. I hump. Yeah,
pillows or whatever.
My hands, pillows, the washcloth. Traveling, I've done everything from the shampoo bottle to a spoon. You know, whatever it takes.
It would be like name that tune.
Yeah, that's what
I can have an orgasm. And what's the over?
So now you got to be.
What's the over under?
Let me give you guys
she's
something
be able
to look
do
at. Though, if I'm going to try this, pull up GingerLynnAuctions.com.
Oh, no problem there,
so you can see. And I want to see if there's a dildo I think that I have in my pussy. I wish I had my vibrating panties right now.
You know what's so nice is that maybe after this episode we could
the Belichick panties.
Both our undergarments.
Can I have your panties? Are you wearing panties, boxers, or briefs? What are you wearing, Mick?
They're Fruit of the Loom.
You've got Fruit of the Looms?
Yeah, and they're brand new, or they were brand new.
So glad Mick's happily married.
There's my pussy.
We see that, please? Thank you.
Now click on the top bar, because you can see my pussy with the stockings in the lower left corner right there. Yeah. See? That's
I know, really. Who designed the website?
I did.
Shit. Let's go.
You don't like it?
No, we love your website. I'm sorry. We love it. We love it.
He's saying drop the puck.
Okay.
Yeah, we want you to drop the puck. GingerLynnAuctions.com. It's a wonderful website. I want to know who your web designer is because it's just terrific.
It's me.
Wow, look at you.
Yes, it's very nice. Now, if I do this, Mick, are you going to put your Fruit of the Looms up on GingerLynnAuctions.com?
2 minutes?
Well, Ginger.
Well, I need his panties. If I'm going to do this, I want Mick's panties.
We're going to organize this, though. We got $20 a man. Guaranteed less than 5 minutes, right?
Yes.
All right.
So, Price is Right. Closest to orgasm time without going over.
And it's just my knee, so technically this is a loophole, right?
I'm wearing jeans. You're wearing pants.
Put down
everything.
The times. I'm going to go with 2 minutes. 2 minutes 20 seconds. Bill Burr. Anybody else?
1 second. You know that cunt who always says $1. I'm not going to do that.
Let's just do
a minute 47.
All right, let's write this down.
Another pertinent question here for Ginger. Is Christy going to be upset with me?
Anybody else in on this?
No, I have no money. $20
I'm on the Playboy show. I've never done anything, right?
No, you haven't.
I reject all the advances.
What'd you say, Bill?
I said a minute 47.
You know, I don't think it's a bad thing because we both have our clothes on. I know that you and Christy have a thing. I don't want you cheating on Christy. I'm not cheating on my man because I'm fully clothed.
Yeah.
So I think that there is a loophole here and we'll be all right.
It's a comedy
gray
bit.
area.
It's
for the comedy.
But what I do like is that they closed all the curtains around here. Everybody.
We have to because of human resources, so that we don't put somebody walks by, they get offended. We're in trouble.
Okay.
Anybody else in? And Yin?
No, I'm just gonna look.
I don't want to bet. I don't
even know what to bet.
So you're the only, we have
We're
nobody
the two
in but
degenerate
you?
gamblers here.
It's me and Bill Burr.
That's it?
I say that she's going to get off on Mick Foley's knee in 2 minutes 20 seconds. Bill's going with a minute 47. You really don't want in on this?
I say.
No, I'll just watch.
All right.
I say 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Flat?
Yes.
Now, what are you guys going to be doing? Well, I'm getting a little nervous now. I'm getting a little
staring there. Damn it. Come on. Don't look at her. I got a minute 47.
I'm thinking if you're looking at me, I don't know if I can do this.
I'm going to eat a couple of Junior Mints. Let me have one of those Junior Mints, Dad.
All right, turn down the lights. Turn down the lights.
Yes, turn down the lights.
I'm going to angrily
we'll show you my
eat Junior
panties
Mints
first. You guys want to see what I'm wearing underneath of
I'd
this?
love to.
We do.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Lights are dimmed a little bit.
Ginger will be facing me or away from me?
I'm going to have to face you.
Okay.
Ginger, a little.
If I look at anybody else, I won't be able to do it.
All right.
I actually get shy.
Could I have a breath mint in that case? I'll take the Junior Mint.
You take a Junior Mint too?
Here's the panties that we have for the...
All right. She's got her little, what are those? Like a little black lacy number. Little black lacy number thing going on.
I am really okay with that.
The panties are working for you?
Yep, they're working.
Got that.
Is there any way Sam could turn off the camera so I could claim it was just
Sam, I think maybe Sam,
walker.
Sam, what the fuck are you? TMZ, you motherfucker?
Yeah, what's wrong?
Well, you guys have to tell me you're actually going to be talking and not just. I'm not going to. I'm just getting shy.
All right, I'll talk about my new DVD available on iTunes. You saw it on Comedy Central. They cut out 21 minutes of it. Isn't that incredible? Not as incredible as what's going on in here.
But you'll be able to see that cut out?
They cut out 21 minutes, like a third of the damn special.
We get to see that 21 minutes?
Yes, you do. You get to see 21 minutes. There's all kinds of extras.
Oh, good. I like that.
She's not taking off her jeans?
No, she just showed her panties.
All right, Danny, you start them up.
Right?
Hold on, Ginger Lynn, listen to Danny.
All right.
Really hard to get going.
We'll do it at the start. We'll count down from 3, and then I'll start the timer. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
All right. She is on Mick Foley's right leg.
She's grinding on his leg.
Yeah. She's riding it.
He's sitting there.
She really is
87.
slowly.
Anticipation is really building in the studio.
Slowly grinding.
She's grinding on his leg.
Forward and backwards, and then she does a little circular motion there. That's nice.
Classic hole here at Augusta.
Breathing very deeply.
Yes, she's got her arms wrapped around Mick's neck.
She's grinding like she's making sand or something.
That's good. She's getting off. She's going fast.
It's a nice feeling.
She's going fast there.
I'm not breaking any marital vows.
Mick, you look more like you're soothing her, like it's going to be okay.
Exactly.
She's had a bad day.
Yeah.
How are you still married? I mean, let's be honest.
Yes, looks like you're burping her.
Wow, sorry. Oh, Uncle Paul. Yeah, she's kind of going really fast, a little harder now.
Would you be able to get away with that?
Mick, you feeling any heat on your leg now?
Yeah, because she's famous.
Yeah,
because she's famous. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
The way her ass moves,
that
is really faster. That's very intimate looking, though.
Well, she's used to.
Ginger can feel free to whisper naughty things to me if she wants.
She's trying to pretend you're anyone but you.
Don't make her laugh. Come on, I want to win that money.
Yeah, come on, no laughing. No laughing.
Sure.
I think we're.
There it is.
Whoa, look at her. She's pulsing.
That's really sexy.
That's my girl.
Wow.
God, her ass looks good.
Holy shit.
Grinding it.
That was it.
I saw her. Yeah, I think we called it.
That was really sexy to watch the way her ass was grinding on his leg.
When she was pretty much done, it was right about 1:30.
That's great.
Ooh, 1:30.
Wow.
Nice.
That was very intimate.
Bill Burr pulls it off and
Taking the money.
takes the cash.
Yay.
Wow.
Billy wins.
How warm is your leg?
It's warm.
Yeah.
Does he have a hard on, Ginger?
Jesus H. Christ! I think you've got a hard on.
I was a good girl. I didn't touch it.
No, just the visual. Does it look like? I mean, he wears sweatpants. It's pretty easy to figure out.
It's looking very nice.
Oh, Mick.
And I'm tell you, anatomically, there's a long distance between my knee and my other body part.
Yes,
that's a good alibi.
I feel I have a clear conscience. I cannot run for public office.
No, that's long gone.
Listen, we got to take a break because we got a big time director coming in here. A movie that is getting great reviews. Four Lions. Chris Morris is going to be in studio next. You guys can hang, certainly.
Yeah, hang out.
What's the big plugs, just in case we get busy?
Your book?
Oh yeah, my book Countdown to Lockdown, available bookstores everywhere. I'll be on the Daily Show the 10th of this month, and I have a comic book coming out in the middle of the month called RPM.
And whose couch will you be sleeping on tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mine.
I may not be.
I'm a fan.
You can catch Mick. He'll be in the middle section on the flight to Singapore. Right. In the middle section, middle seat.
And sleeping in his own basement.
Thank you, Bill.
Away from his wife. And Ginger, what are we plugging there?
My new show on Spice Radio. That's Sirius 108, XM 248, and GingerLynnAuctions.com.
Are you doing any from here?
No, doing it out of the Los Angeles studio.
Okay.
So when you're in L.A., Jimmy, maybe you do the show.
Yeah, come on.
I'm even not out there on a Monday. I'm going to be out there next week.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Oh,
maybe.
God, come. We'll talk.
All right.
I'd love you Monday.
All right, very good. Unbelievable. We got Bill Burr in studio. Really fast because we got Chris Morris walking into the studio. Bill's got a DVD out that's doing really well, and I did not know this. It was on Comedy Central. I didn't know that, the special.
Right.
But the DVD has 21 minutes more material that most people didn't see.
Because it's an hour and 5 minutes long. The 5 minutes is already gone, and then you have 16 minutes of commercials. So what's killing me is people have only they missed a third of the special, and they cut out 2 killer bits. The thing about the bankers microchipping you,
all right,
and the one about the automated checkout lines. It's funny they cut those 2 bits out, but me talking about thinking about committing suicide, they're like, that's fine. That part's fine. We'll leave that in. Yeah, just
part of the Illuminati.
As long as you don't mess with our scams, so we're fine with it.
The headline is "Get Bill Burr's latest DVD. You get a lot more material."
Yeah, it's been doing great on.
Sorry about the burp. I just shoved an omelet down my throat in 3 minutes.
All right, yeah, it's
a busy show today.
Been doing great on iTunes, and it would be awesome if you go out. It makes a great gift, Christmas gift for somebody you don't give a shit about, but have to buy a gift for. It's $20. Here you go, asshole. Yuck it up. See you next year.
Order now.
There you go. I'm done whoring myself up.
Bill, to your right, Chris Morris. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
A few of us saw Four Lions and just absolutely loved it. This movie that's coming out, I think, coming out tomorrow in L.A. and New York, right?
Yeah. A few other places as well. I don't have the list with me, but, you know. we're up and down the country.
Pleasantly surprised, and Jim Norton said that he now, has faith in comedy again.
I love this movie so much because everything is such politically correct shit, and they always wreck it. And I'm like, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm loving this movie, and I'm like, they're gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna hate this by the end. I know they're gonna do it, and you didn't do it. It was like
how could we have fucked it up at the end then?
I don't want to say the ending. I don't want to give away the ending.
Yeah, see,
you know what I mean? But I will say this: it didn't go in the direction I thought it was going to go in. To me, you humanize suicide bombers, but not in an apologetic, make the people they're trying to kill feel guilty way.
Yeah, I mean, look, that kind of mission, you're heading towards a wall. So I guess you were saying you don't want somebody to say, stop the car, get out, go and have a picnic before you hit the wall, right?
Or that we're stupid to think that people would be suicide.
That's how you would have fucked it up, obviously.
Yeah.
But we don't want to, that's a big part of the movie.
Well, there's an afterlife.
I think it could have fucked up by being Queen Latifah in it as the sassy black woman. That would have wrecked it.
Well, how about we start with this?
They could have wrecked it by making some dog shit social message that was meant to preach to people not to be Islamophobe. And there was none of that. It was just, these guys are complete bumbling idiots.
You don't want finger wagging, do you?
No.
I mean, you just don't want that in a film.
No.
If you get that in a film, go home. I mean, people should burn
I like when films make up my mind for me. This is just being spoon-fed.
Yeah, but no, we played it to people, right? And people put it, ask questions at the end. One or two people go, can you tell me what I think?
Can you tell me what I think?
Yeah, I know, you get that.
Can we start with what the movie's about in your words?
Okay, it's about bumbling jihadi terrorists.
There you go. That's basically what we said.
But there's so many cases where that actually happens. I mean, have you heard of the bottle rocket bomber?
No.
Okay, well, there was some trouble with ink cartridges last Friday.
Right.
The guy that made those bombs decided, because they're dissident Saudis, and he wanted to kill a Saudi prince, and he thought the best way to do this was to turn his brother into a bomb. So he had a word with his brother. His brother agreed. The bomb mechanism suppository, basically.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh no!
So and so basically he goes to see the Saudi prince, and the plan is he goes, "Hello, prince," and hits the button. But they got the dynamics wrong, because if you let off a bomb in a tent, it's very different to letting it off in a hard room. In a hard room, the explosion comes back and you achieve your aim. This is in a tent. So he saw the prince, he hit the button and fired himself straight through the ceiling. And the prince just goes, oh well, next.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure how high he got. I was talking to an intelligence analyst about this, right? But he couldn't give me the height. But I'm hoping it was over 50 feet.
Wow. So you don't hear enough about terrorists miserably, or how dumb a lot of these guys are.
There are a few videos out there that you could see of guys with like Stinger missiles that don't quite work.
Loads.
Missiles that just fall out of the front, and they're like, oh, and they just go running away from the thing. It's hysterical. Some of these, they're really bumbling.
I know.
They blow themselves up. I've seen a lot of videos because they video them, and they're like, and then something horrible happens. They're like, ah.
I don't know how you feel about this. But that one you just described, they're Canadians.
Yes,
the one with the huge. I mean, when I saw that, I thought, are we going to be able to match this in the film? Because that is the
really
funniest.
funny.
I mean, even if you told someone it's the funniest thing that they're ever going to see, they'd still laugh. You could never let it down.
The missile just falls out of the front of the launcher right in front of these guys, and they're all just like, ah!
It's like giving birth. It's like the launcher just gives birth to this.
It was so crazy. A lot of people thought it was a fake video. There's no way this actually happened.
No, because they were scared shitless when they went running away from it.
There was a cool thing. The relationship between these guys. Like one of the guys, Omar's name was kind of the smarter guy who was running it. And then there was the more radical guy who they just wanted to shut the fuck up because he kept drawing attention to them by saying, and he's like, what did he say? Like, I'm not drawing attention. They're like, you put a Twin Towers cake outside the synagogue on 9/11. Hide in plain sight. It was really fucking...
Hide in plain sight.
The great dialogue between these guys was fucking great.
Who came up with the dialogue for the movie?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, obviously I'm here, and none of the other writers are here, so it was all me.
So it was all you. Very good. You're a smart man.
There's a bit of improvisation.
Because the writing is right on.
We were wondering, because if you notice, I think even England seems to be more PC as far as catering to Muslims than the United States even.
You mean going around and giving them food?
Well, not catering in that way. Although I don't know England. Perhaps. Just being more politically correct, making sure to not offend. It seems to be that they call it the nanny state.
It's black and white for here, and Islam and non-Islam. It seems like for there.
It's weird, because I think there's kind of in Britain there's a sort of submerged. You kind of like disguise your racism. I think that's the way it works. It's kind of like polite racism.
Oh, that's
you know what I mean?
Nice.
I think that's it. There's quite a lot of it. But it's very different, because I mean, there's kind of 1 million people whose families come from back in Pakistan, and they've been around for 50 years, and people just tend to think, okay, well, shut up unless you make a good curry, is the kind of feeling that you get. Yeah. But I mean, it's not quite as you describe. But I think, when you get kind of super liberals, they're allowed to be racist as well, but they have to pretend they're not. Right. So it's kind of that's probably the impression.
Have you gotten any flack for this from any? Because it's an amazing topic to fucking attack in a comedy, and you really go in depth with it, and you show them. The opening is a guy's trying to make his suicide video, which is when they talk to camera and whatever, but the guy's gun is too small, and it just looks ridiculous. He's holding a tiny gun, and they're like, I'll sit closer to the camera, and he sits close to the camera, and they're like, cut. It was really funny, man. They show all these outtakes, and
great.
You really seem to have captured what these guys do.
But you get those, I mean, you get those in court cases. They come up, sometimes they stop people before they get too far, and they intercept them before they make an explosive, and then you see the kind of evidence, and some of that stuff. And there's guys basically sitting there doing their videos, and I mean, this is for real, and they kind of get halfway through some rant, and then they either run out of words, they're trying to describe the hell they're going to rain on our heads, and they just literally run out of words and stop and just look stupid. Or there's one guy saying, halfway through he goes, so what was the question again? Like, it really not to
so
get.
Did you research some actual tapes? Like, how did you find out what they were doing?
Obviously,
there's thing. I mean, because when you go to court, they're all too happy to. I mean, these guys who basically got 600 kilos of fertilizer, right? And they wanted to make it into a bomb. They'd gone to Pakistan to learn how to make it into a bomb. They'd come back. They'd had a few conversations, conversations about who's cooler, Bin Laden or Johnny Depp. Seriously, and then they'd realized they'd forgotten how to make a bomb. So they started phoning up Pakistan again, saying, yeah, listen, bro, the bomb recipe you told us, at which point the line goes dead. And then they're sitting around going, having ridiculous conversations. They call each other, one guy, there were 6 Pakistanis and a Moroccan. The Moroccan used to call the Pakistanis, you hairy hobbits. So he'd come into the room, and you'd hear this stuff. They had stoner conversations. They didn't know what one of them had a baby, had a Doberman, and they couldn't work. They didn't even know that a Doberman was a kind of dog. It's kind of really ridiculous conversations you wouldn't dare make up.
You always just assumed they were great at one take. That they did it in one take.
Oh, they had that level of passion.
Yeah.
Then when you really think about it, it's like, how dumb would you have to be to have some other guy convince you?
Yeah, this
to
movie,
blow yourself up. I'm going to keep living.
But the guy that's doing the convincing, right? He's probably got to be brighter than the guy that's getting convinced.
You would think.
So that's why you get freakish things like qualified doctors sort of driving flaming cars into airports, which we had a few years ago. Qualified doctors.
Right.
Yeah.
You just humanized the whole thing. You really did.
Well, you love doctors? You love the doctor angle? There's engineers, there's nurses. What's your favorite
profession?
That's
nothing but doctors. Doctors brings it around.
I mean, I'm looking at Jimmy. There's so much we want to say about this movie, but we don't want to give away a lot of the punchlines.
I don't want to blow it, but the audience, I think, knows our sensibilities with comedies, and they always blow it. And this one didn't. It was really, really funny and smart and dark. Let's just say this. There were, everybody does not live. I'm only going to say that. I'm not going to say everybody does not live, and you never see a death in a comedy. You just don't see it. Every time something happens, you know, the guy gets out of the tank and he's okay.
Right.
And there are, let's just say,
He's got some soot on his face or something.
Happy or unhappy.
A couple of whoopsie daisies.
But there's weird rules about this, right? Because, you know, we all know the bit in Raiders of the Lost Ark where the guy gets the sword out and he just gets shot, right? And that's the punchline. There's some weird sort of rule. It is nothing to do with whether it's right or wrong. It's kind of, you know, there's a guy in the film that gets killed, and he's just a sort of, this will sound terrible, right? He's nothing to do with it. He's an innocent bystander. He's a functionary part. But we thought we had to kind of make people dislike him before he actually goes up. You know, we had to make him do something awful before he got killed. Not at all. It doesn't matter. You know, if you haven't followed him, if he hasn't sort of been hallowed in some way in the film, you just don't care. I mean, look, the general, Buster Keaton's the general, the kind of climax scene of that is a massacre in a ravine. But you're not sitting there going, oh my God, it's a massacre in a ravine. You're going, hey, look at Buster, he's dancing around in front of the guns being stupid. You know, so it's a weird rule that you should have to make everything nice and everybody.
It's sort of like those Corona commercials.
What happens?
There's these Corona commercials where the guy just can't win.
Right.
That whole just pandering to females. You know, she squeezes the lime because he's looking at a hot chick, and then she looks at a hot guy, so he shakes up her beer. But because she's a woman, she's got to grab the other beer. And it's just, the whole thing is just guys are dumb, which is just completely acceptable to put out there. You can never have, like, the female losing that. That's like that political correctness kind of things. Where it's just
always. Well, the main reason is, though, because with Corona, we're going to pump enough down her dumb throat and then fuck her while she's half asleep. So we do win in the end.
Dude, that movie.
Too many and clock her in the eye.
that movie, The Social Network, like, women's groups were offended the way that they portrayed it, that these nerds who nobody wanted to fuck, when all of a sudden they made $1 billion, all of a sudden all these good-looking chicks came out of nowhere and wanted
that's what happens.
No, you can't say that. They make it seem like gold-digging whores are on the same level of, like, Bigfoot, you know? Like they don't exist. And it's like, they do.
Okay, but I think nobody's going to say if you sit in front of a camera with a small gun and forget your words that that's going to make you sexy. Although there is an element of self.
No.
There is an element. You know, you meet. What's weird is that you meet guys who've adopted this kind of language as street talk because basically, you know, it's the next cool thing. So they'll hang around on the street and they won't be wearing gold. They'll just be saying, "Bro, listen, man, I'm going to come and get you, and you know, I've got a big beard, and you should watch out because we're going to be bigger than Osama." And they're not. I mean, they're not. They're going to go back home and they're going to just, you know, their mum's going to give them supper and they're going to go to bed.
Is there an equivalent here in the United States? Like, I don't mean as far as terrorism goes, but like a gang member or something. Is that what you would equate some of these fanatics with? Like,
I don't know. I mean, people say these guys, they like 20 years ago, they'd have been punks or something, you know, and it's not quite like that. There's a different thing going on, but there is something that maybe happened here that's a bit similar with the KKK and, you know, the fact they got infiltrated by Stetson Kennedy and then he decided he was trying to campaign against them. He revealed all of their passwords and crazy names, you know, the Grand Dragon and all of that stuff to the Superman radio show. And the Superman radio show wrote it up in the 50s, and it came out on air, and then all the kids started running around going, yeah, Grand Dragon, and all this, and the KKK couldn't hack it. They said, what the hell are our kids saying this for? And it just cut the recruitment overnight. So, you know, you can feel that maybe things kind of shift in that way if you put a comedy on them.
It was really weird, too. Like, there was one line in the movie which showed you a great insight into these guys. They were talking, like, about blowing themselves up, and the one guy either said to him or he said it about himself. He goes, I'll be in heaven before my head hits the ceiling.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know that's something that they say. That's a way they look at it. Like, before your head hits the ceiling, you're in paradise. Like, you know that line has really been used.
Right, do you? Okay, that's good, because, I mean...
Did you guys make that up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, that's, to me, too exact a conversation.
That's like the car salesman. But what do we have to do here today?
To get you...
What?
It does depend, right, because, you know, these stories about when people were guillotined in France, and people sort of thought, I wonder if the head can last longer, you know, well, once it's cut off, does it know what's happened? And there were even people who did experiments, you know, doctors who said to people who are about to be executed, look, can you do me a favor? I'm going to ask you a question after your head's come off.
Wow.
Now, you've got no air coming through your larynx to make a voice noise, but maybe if you could just wink with your right eye for yes and your left eye for no. You know, kind of like, can I interview your head after I've cut it off? And then, of course, well, come on, you know, you chop a head off. I think it's going to do some weird things, right?
It probably is.
It'll probably do that.
Yeah.
And he goes, it does, it knew me, I understood. You know,
it's a little twitchy.
So a bomber, maybe? I mean, because the head is the bit that lasts longest. And we even thought early on, you know, maybe they would have a sort of slow motion scene going up with a head. I mean, this is when the film, before we'd kind of like really sort of just spitballing, and you stick with the head, and we're thinking, what would be the last thought to go through somebody's head? And we kind of like wanted something really random, like it was going, oh, I didn't expect to feel hungry. But you know, how long do you last after the moment? I don't know. How can we test it?
No clue.
Yeah, no one knows.
Can we test it now? It's not regulated, right?
Well,
so there's
Stevie's not here today, so I guess
I'd like to see.
This is the shock to your
Get a volunteer.
system.
Get a volunteer.
Right.
Can you do that?
Now we got a few
In the
people
safety of satellite radio,
as well
right?
not have
A
a
beheading for science.
Where's E-Rock?
Hey, death threats. You worried about death threats or anything?
Are you going to make one?
Nah, fuck.
Listen, I got a death. I got a death threat for you know, working on radio a long time ago. Kuyanis? No, what? I thought you were going to compliment my lunch.
I was going to say must have huge balls because you know. Doing a movie like Four Lions, I'm thinking you might get a death threat or two.
Well, look, I mean, a lot of the Muslim guys that I met during the research and their families were just saying, oh, it's going to be a comedy, bring it on. So unless they were trying to trick me to go out on a limb.
Did you actually talk to jihadists?
Well, not guys who are currently planning anything.
No, but I mean,
can't
like, you know,
reveal.
people who are at least were involved with it and are out of it now.
Well, you talk to people and they get in a weird situation. So, like, when I talked to people who went to fight in Bosnia in the 90s, but that was a time when Margaret Thatcher, recently out of power, said, I think British Muslims should go and fight against the Serbs, go and help the, you know, so you get people, they can say, they can tell you stories from that kind of training camp because it's not incriminating, but nobody says, yeah, I've just come back from training camp, and you know what? They're gone. So the latest things you rely on kind of court cases and stuff. But I spoke to people. I spoke to a guy who fought alongside bin Laden against the Russians in the 90s, and then he had a major disagreement with him and said, oh, you know, you've gone mad, and I don't want to be part of this anymore.
Did he have the actual disagreement, or did bin Laden just say something that he secretly disagreed with and he got the fuck out of Dodge?
You know what? It's funny. He actually went, he traveled deliberately to a conference in order to stand up and declare that they'd gone overboard. You know, there's this kind of weird thing. It's kind of, you know, sometimes people like Peter Bergen, you know, CNN, people who've interviewed bin Laden, they say he's a very polite man. So you're not, it's kind of like against the rules, even if you're, you know, planning mass destruction. If somebody stands up and disagrees with you, there was another guy, there was an Algerian terrorist that bin Laden invited to go and visit him in Afghanistan. And he pitched, he said, you know, the Algerian terrorist made a dangerous journey. He was a marked man. He said, what do you want? Bin Laden said, I want you to work for me, brother. And this guy said, I don't want to work for you. I'm my own man. I've got my own list of atrocities. I don't need to be part of your team. And I tell you what, if I ever hear from you again, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to cut your fucking head off. And I thought, how often do you imagine bin Laden sitting on his rock looking like a slapped child? You know, it's kind of, the dynamics are not quite the same. So this guy stood up and said, you've gone mad, this isn't working. You can't just go around blowing up people for no reason. And he left. 2000 was the year he left.
You think of him as like a Bond villain where he goes, okay, well, take care. And then the floor opens up and there's sharks in there and
I know.
Something happens.
I was thinking Scarface and that guy's hanging from the helicopter.
Omar,
No, he's a softie. I mean, he was interviewed. He was interviewed by a journalist. I mean, so you have to go through elaborate routines like you know, boots of car and that kind of thing. Just the trunk in the hide in the trunk of a car, go somewhere you don't know. But this journalist found himself in bin Laden's cave, and you know, he writes about the Middle East. And bin Laden said, I like what you write. Would you like to work for us? And this journalist suddenly thought, okay, I'm alone here. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. What do I say? Jesus. And he said, well, the thing is, Sheikh, I'm not a Muslim. Which is a pretty good answer because, you know, you can't argue with that. The result was that bin Laden went, okay, and went and lay down on the couch in the corner of his cave, got out a newspaper, and basically going, what are you doing here? I'm not talking to you. I'm reading the paper. I'm not talking to you anymore. And he basically sulked for an hour. You know, and it's not the kind of behaviour you expect.
No.
From
wow.
Mr.
Did he eventually talk to him?
Wow.
Again? Yeah, he probably said, I'm going to do 3 more questions, and then I've got to go.
Wow.
Well, but he didn't. It's weird. But you would expect.
Did he eventually work for him?
No. But bin Laden did speak to him like at the end of the interview. He didn't.
He didn't just stay on the couch and go to sleep.
He didn't just throw him out.
He really is just a spoiled rich kid.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. I think there is a bit of that. You know,
spoiled rich.
Yeah, he got everything he wanted growing up.
Lawrence Wright's book, The Looming Tower, sort of describes bin Laden's life, and it is quite like that. You know, I don't think he had it hard.
Is he though? Is he like the real radical, or is it al-Zawahiri? I think.
Yeah, no, he's
the Egyptian.
He's got all the words coming out of his mouth,
Who?
hasn't he? Al-Zawahiri.
Yeah. He's the one. The Egyptian, I think, is the real fucking radical. Like Bin Laden, I guess, is the figurehead, and I'm sure approves of this stuff.
And the money.
Yeah, but I think the guy below him is the real.
He's the one
problem.
who publishes all the documents, right? I mean, he's the one who comes up and does the newsletters. Bin Laden, I mean, do we know? I mean, do we even know when it's like a little note? He's gone a bit weird. You know, he does book pluggings and things. He does, his rhetoric's come unraveled. The other guy's still right online, but I'm not sure. Somebody could be making that stuff up for Bin Laden. You know, remember he plugged a book a few years ago, that book Rogue State. You know, he sort of said, and I want you Americans, I think it was just before the election, and he was saying, I want you Americans to read a book.
More effective than Oprah?
It went up. And you know what? He was I think it went up to
the Bin Laden book club.
Hopefully Happy Endings is on there, Jimmy.
Happy Endings.
Right.
We had a date with Osama. He's like a hunk now. Everybody wants to fuck him.
Hey, you think Bin Laden's alive still? What's your thoughts on that?
I'm the expert, right?
Well, you know a little more than us.
Yeah, you've spoken to more guys than we have.
Yeah, but no one. I mean, you suspect maybe he is from the fact that there's still a search for him. But you know, I think the weird thing is that he's kind of over. You know, he's still a figurehead, but he's still a sort of Che Guevara type figure. But he's, you know, there's new things happening. It's kind of quite dispersed. It's
like music. Every 5 years, you need.
I mean, he had a difficult second album, didn't he? Yeah. And I'm not sure it's really, you know, it's not even in utero what he's done.
And where do you think he is? Where do you think he's at if he's alive?
Where's that?
Where do you think he's at?
Where? This is great. This is going to be because if I say
you live in that world a little more in that world than we do.
You made a movie about it. You got to know something.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Look, come on. You don't turn up at someone's house and say, you know, like you know, nice Pakistani family in Britain, and they say, come in, have some curry, and by the way, do you know where Bin Laden is?
Yeah,
we can tell you
where he is.
No, I mean,
what's the word on the street?
Listen, we could sit around here. We could name 5 cities, and you know they'd be toast by lunchtime. They'd be hit by drones. I don't know. I mean, they say he's hiding out in the mountains between Pakistan, but that's what we all think, right? I mean, what do you think? You think he's out somewhere else? You think he's kind of like on a beach?
He's in some. I guarantee it. It's just some village or in Pakistan where they.
But
can't...
he's got to hide out because he's a pretty recognizable guy.
Yeah.
Do you know how we heard?
What disguise would you choose?
Big place. You can't find him. You can find Saddam in the bottom of a manhole, middle of a desert, but they just can't seem to get this guy.
Yeah, Bill's all about. I like Bill's thoughts on this stuff.
You think he's got theories?
No,
they can't. The religious. I'm telling you, the religious fanaticism. Even though they've got al-Zarqawi this way with the $25 million ransom, the religious fanaticism around guys who are that close to him, the money doesn't mean anything to them. It's like that's why they haven't caught the top 2 guys.
I can look at my apartment from space. On the internet, they can't find get the fuck out. Ridiculous.
Are you one guy?
I love Billy.
No, he's serious.
No, they could have sent in the Navy SEALs and the Rangers. Those guys are punks.
I was a Navy SEAL.
They have shit training. You could have sent in the Navy SEAls, the Rangers. They could have slit the guy's throat. They could have done it in like 90 days.
Why are we leaving them alone?
There's no
then?
money in that. You got to send everybody over there. Send everything over there. $1 billion a day, and just make $1 zillion. We can't get the ref didn't see it. It's like wrestling.
But if they get him, doesn't it justify?
I don't know shit. I don't read books. It's just it's what my gut's telling me.
To send a shitload of equipment and manpower over there, and then you get some corporations for security. A lot of people make some money.
Yeah, but
do you think
behind
it's like a mini-series or something? Do you think that's why you feel cheated that they've kind of like withheld the obvious
it's like
ending?
Sam and Diane. Eventually,
I can see what's happening. There's no one. So where is he? Does he live here or does he not exist?
He's in Rhode Island. He's down there at the yacht club.
Or is he in Langley?
Look,
is he in Langley?
He's a rich kid. There's no way he's going to slum it that long in a cave. He shaves the beard. It's a glue on. He just puts it on. They make it look grainy. They have a cave set that they put behind him. And they shoot it, and then he hangs out in Newport.
Now, should we talk about moon landings?
Never happened.
Yeah, okay.
He's in a village somewhere. That's all. These fucking tribal fucking regions that are hard for us to get to, and I really believe that they just haven't gotten him. I think the PR behind getting him would be so much bigger than anything that they can gain by not getting him. It would make everything that the U.S. did, at least at one point, look justified. There's too many people that would look good if they
maybe we're just waiting. Give it a couple more years, then we'll get him.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe.
Talking to Chris Morris, because everyone's yelling, what's the movie, assholes?
It's called The Four Lions. We've said that.
It.
It's released in New York and L.A. Is there a website people can go to check out where it is?
Yeah, it's at Draft House Films.
Congratulations on the reviews, man.
Yeah, 86%.
Positive
How did we
reviews
do
all
that?
over the place.
Yeah,
it's a smart movie, man. It's really, and it's funny. It's not smarmy smart and annoying smart. It's a funny fucking comedy. It's really well written.
Go ahead, Bill.
What is that like the morning of when you have a movie coming out and you're like, oh God, here come the critics? Like, do you just say like, don't call me if it's bad? Do you literally search it yourself? What is the process?
I think you kind of get warmed up because it's a slow release and you can see how they work. But I think in this case, you're in a way it's quite easy, quite safe because. The easiest way for a critic to make a fool of themselves is to sort of declare expertise in this area. And in order really to comment on the film in some ways, it's kind of critic-proof, right? Because people don't know that much about the subject. I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating, but it's. Right. Do you know? The other thing is, by the time you've made the film, you sort of, I don't know, you've brainwashed yourself into your own world. So any critic is kind of quite a long way out there. They'd have to come up to you. I mean, they find ways of getting into your head. I've gone mad. I mean, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. They've got to me. I can't. I'm in ribbons. I'm in bits. I don't know. Oh, look here. This is a list of cities.
Yeah,
we're bothered with that. So we've got New York, LA, we've got Seattle, Boston, DC, Austin, San Francisco. That's the first 7, and then we're expanding to over 1,000.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
It should be out.
If people go and see it, maybe we'll expand to 12.
I'm glad it's in other cities. I thought just New York and LA. That's why I heard.
Does that make you feel better or worse?
Much better for you.
Yeah. No, because honestly, I know you're being sarcastic, but we fucking are frustrated by comedies, and this is a smart comedy.
Yeah, most of them is just.
We hate fucking comedies at this point.
What was the last one you liked? What was the last one you saw?
Observe and Report.
Observe and Report was a great movie
with Ray Liotta and Seth Rogen. It was like he was a mall security guard, but the dialogue was fucking.
It's
brutal.
Mall Cop if you did it right.
Yeah,
because the Mall Cop got all the money, but this Observe and Report was so much better and so much funnier.
Did you have any resistance from any studios in the U.S.? Did any criticism from the business itself?
You mean if we're trying to raise money?
Like to put it out, go, well, the subject's a little. Did anybody, these fucking jizzbags, they had to have come after you with that shit.
I think you can guess, right? And if you did the face you did there and the voice, I mean, that kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
But we didn't have direct criticism, not direct intervention, because I think studios in the US didn't really care that much. But people did say that. The thing is that you get brave people. Often what you have is like in the same committee, brave people are just like, okay, yeah, we love this, and then other people just run and hide, and that's kind of the most frustrating thing because
are people really gonna go on? Want to? I don't know
who to root for in this.
Yeah, who's the winner?
Who am I rooting for?
Yeah, what's gonna make me like these characters? It's like, you fucking.
I just can't see this being interesting for 90 minutes.
Oh, shut up!
How many times you just looked at that pen and pencil set on the?
Are you guys
both fucking jugulars?
Do I sense the damage here?
Yeah, we've all had
pitched and you've had a lot of rejection.
I wrote a comedy
meetings.
It's like
it just comes off as like misogynistic.
Dude,
what
if the guy is like retarded? I had a scene in a pilot that I wrote where it was a guy. He has a Super Bowl party and all these chicks come over and they talk during the game. No, and then they shut up during the commercials, which is basically what happens. And then in the end, the real sports fans who've been there the whole time end up watching it on a small TV in the kitchen. That's all it was.
Bill.
And it came off.
What was the problem?
It was it made women look bad. It was misogynistic.
What network? What network?
What was that one?
Was it one of the majors?
What was that one?
What was that one? I can't even remember. That was
Comedy Central.
It might have been Fox. It's just anything.
Oh, God.
Anything, and I got to admit, all this bitching that they do in the business, I find 80% of the time I'm pitching to a woman.
Always.
Yeah,
wow.
and I got to get it
past
beyond their sensibilities, and it's like everything that you just, I don't know, like anything that remotely.
You got to get clever, right? You got to just, keep the same script, but just swap the men and the women about.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Okay, and then once you got the right to make it, switch it back.
See, the women are the ones.
And then you play dumb. See, that's why you're making movies, and I'm
it's easy
thinking
to play
about
dumb.
stabbing people.
My film. It's so they're always worried about like how do you root for the guy, and it's like, and I think that in the Punchline Rapist, I think it'd be easy to root He leaves a different Henny Youngman joke on every woman he brutally sodomizes.
Couldn't get that through, huh?
I just couldn't get it through.
It's too bad.
Yeah, there was a Henny Youngman issue, I think.
Couldn't get the rights to his jokes.
But what Bill just said is, it's like, it makes me physically ill.
Yeah, man,
because you know that's what he's dealing with. It's
people want to come home and they want to forget their troubles
and watch a film about suicide bombers. That's what they want to do. Look, I mean, you can kind of. Who were you rooting for? In the film,
I liked all of them. I liked the guy who was, let's say, the smarter of all of them. But it was a matter of, I was rooting for all of them in a weird way, not to do it or not do it, but just for the movie to have some kind of a funny conclusion. It was really weird. I didn't find myself rooting for the guy like, it's gonna happen. But I guess the Omar was the most likable, and in a way, I was hoping that he would go in a certain direction. And I will say this, he did not go in the direction I wanted him to go in. He did not go in the direction I wanted him to go in, but in a way he did. Like his humanity, I liked his humanity. I know I'm double talking so I don't blow the ending, but it's not what you think it's going to be. But it wasn't what I wanted.
You sound like the head of a corporation that did something wrong. Just talking in vague generalities.
I kind of got what I wanted.
He's being kind, right? He's being decent.
I don't want to fuck with your movie.
Exactly.
I got what I wanted. I got what I wanted, but I didn't get what I wanted in a certain way, and that was fine.
We're currently exploring options to...
No, we'll discuss this movie in length, in a few weeks when people get a chance to see it.
Well, I guess just listening to you guys talking about this, I'm definitely going to see it. This sounds hilarious.
I think you'd love it, Bill. It's a great movie.
I was a sap for the married guy with the kid. When you brought the kid into the equation, I'm like, oh, fuck, I hope this guy wakes up.
But it sort of comes in the wrong way, right? I mean, it's kind of like, it's an upside down.
You got me with that one.
What sort of message is this sending to the youth?
He's on his laptop planning shit, and the kid comes in the room, and it's like, he's shutting the laptop, and his wife...
He's watching a suicide bomber video with his fucking headphones in.
Just to see if it's good enough, and...
What kind of message to send? Don't ever run while holding explosives. I would have to say that was...
Do you know, I mean, okay, there's a scene, I don't think it's giving too much away, where
you give away whatever you want. It's your movie.
I know, yeah. But I'm foolish to myself.
Oh, okay.
There's a scene where a sheep gets blown up. The most common thing is, did a sheep really get blown up? Because, like, as if you're allowed to blow up a sheep unless you eat it, which we did, which is fine. So we did blow up a sheep and ate it, I mean, there's exploding animals, I think we should say.
Yes.
Like my co-writers, Sam and Jesse, they call it the film about the fucking crow.
Yeah, I forgot about the bird.
Yeah.
There's one funny scene where they're all driving somewhere and they're moving explosives from a hideout to somewhere else because they think that they've been and the fucking car breaks down. And they keep yelling at the whole film to fix this piece of shit car. And they have to walk down the street holding bags of explosives. It was just a great fucking
It's
scene.
almost like the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
it really is.
Except there was 5 of them and they wanted to murder Zionists.
I know, I understand that. But there's a Three Stooges thing happening in this movie.
But the thing that was scary about them was that you humanized them in a way which showed that they were radical. It showed their doubts about being radical. It showed how stupid what they were going to do. It showed how committed they are to what they do. And it's like you could interact with any one of those people. They were very fucking real people, which makes them more frightening.
Well, I mean, look, in real life, these, they don't go around with kind of suits on dressed as Ming the Merciless. It's sort of, and it's weird to imagine that actually they can be people like the head of the guys that bombed London was a sort of teaching assistant. People really liked him. He used to give lifts to kids who couldn't get to school on time. Yeah. And so when he went and did something like that, people's heads, people who worked with him just went, what?
Yeah,
I remember that one.
The 9/11 attackers were all regular middle-class guys, or most of them were. It's like
some of them were quite odd.
Yeah,
I mean, like the leader of the cell when they lived in Hamburg, Mohammed Atta, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have thought this was possible. You'd say all those guys are so extreme. They're basically
big Scrabble fan.
Yeah, no, he used to eat nothing but mashed potato. He used to eat nothing but mashed potato and then sit there shoveling into his mouth saying, "Food is boring."
They are tasty.
Are you kidding?
No.
What shits he must have taken?
No craving.
So he's one of those guys, he wanted to feel something.
Yeah. He just
that's what got his heart rate going.
A steering wheel in a fucking building.
But do you believe this, true or false, right? When he used to use the bathroom, the others used to tease him because he urinated so loudly. And he would come back and they'd all be laughing and like making him feel awkward. And he said, "It's not me, it's nothing to do with me, it's the doors, the bathroom doors, they're Jewish." He actually said they used to call him. He was so strict that lot used to call him the Ayatollah. You wouldn't have thought that was possible.
Wow, yeah, it's
I mean, I'm crazy, but this guy, this guy's out of his mind.
This guy's really crazy.
I'll kill every man, woman, and child, but Jesus Christ, put some salt on the potatoes.
You lunatic.
There's a scene in the movie too where they break down and he accuses one of the car parts of being Jewish.
Exactly.
The spark plugs are Jewish. That's probably where that came from.
That's exactly where that came from. Yeah,
the writing is just amazing. A lot of fans on the phones here.
It's not about me though.
Jonathan in Maryland. We're talking to Chris Morris, the director of Four Lions.
Oh, hi, Chris.
Hi, Jonathan.
How are you doing? I'm a big fan of your work. Jam, Brass Eye, Nathan Barley, and even your appearances on the IT Crowd.
Wow. Steady now. You've listed the whole lot.
You did one of my favorite comedy sketches ever in Jam, where the guy commits suicide by jumping off the second floor 42 times.
Yeah. I thought that was beautiful.
42 times.
Well, it was like the first floor balcony 40, just in case he changed his mind. But it was great to film that because, you have to put a stuntman through that 42 times. It's basic. And each time he sort of gets up and looks a bit more groggy. And then gets but, it's a way to do it, right?
Yes.
That's great that you kill people in comedies, though. That's not enough of that. It's fucking funny.
It's great.
You got a question, Jonathan, or no?
Yeah, I do. Are you ever going to work with Charlie Brooker again?
I hope to, yeah. Charlie Brooker's a writer in Britain. This guy I wrote Nathan Barley with. He'll probably come over here and be huge in 5 years. It's very funny. And I hope to, yeah. We just kind of, we keep having meetings, but we just don't get it together. Maybe our brains are just turning slowly to grit and rubbish. But we hope to get one thing out. Maybe it'll be a 7-second podcast before we both shuffle off.
Oh.
I don't want to end on a downer. Yes is the hopeful answer. Yeah, come on.
All right.
Let's be hopeful about this. Happy ending.
Happy ending, yes. I've been waiting for a second series of Nathan Barley. I always wanted to find out what would happen.
For us that don't, I don't
What
know.
is Nathan Barley?
Yeah, we don't know what it's about.
It's about hipsters, basically. It's a sort of like a satire on the sort of people, a bit like Vice magazine, people who sort of try too hard to be cool. People who try too hard to be cool. Right. Then there's you get those in every generation.
Hipsters are great fodder.
I mean,
to goof on these days.
It's sort of. I mean, go on. You describe it.
Oh, yeah, it's more or less, it's about the new age of internet, how everyone's using YouTube. It's mockery of it.
I don't go for that.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah, please.
There's no one to root for.
Who do you root for? They're just having fun.
What is the message?
The message is everyone's an idiot.
So was it a series or a film?
It was a 6-part series.
Oh, 6-part series. Oh, see, the fucking British know 6 and you're done. That's The Office, 2 seasons, 6 each season.
You're looking at big fans of the British Office there, Chris.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
I mean, really.
The American version's better, though.
I'm kidding. It was all right at first.
But you guys,
we don't know when to get off. We don't.
Some great things go on. Sometimes great things go on for ages, and I really don't understand where that comes from. Something like South Park, on and on and on.
Right.
How does that happen? Is it kind of different?
Cartoon.
Like you got to work hard here. Maybe we're just lazy.
No, I think because they're dealing with topical material.
Yeah, they didn't. They haven't jumped the shark
at all.
And there's no aging. Right. And as in real life, nobody gets old, nobody dies, so you can have the same characters.
Yeah, you don't got to bring in that awful kid character.
You can bring in dead people. You can do whatever you want in a cartoon.
Except for your Empire. You went a little long with that.
Yeah, sure. But I mean,
that was...
Yeah, the EastEnders might have seen better days. Fucking season 40.
EastEnders.
I've never even seen it. I just know it's a show.
The whole point of that is it just kind of stumbles on, and people still watch it.
How many years have that been on?
Oh, at least 20.
Okay.
Wow. Really
It's like Days of Our Lives, I guess, or one of those soaps. I like that. I'm McDonald Carey.
McDonald Carey for Days of Our Lives. And it's like
decades of our lives.
The person that was like the young hot broad is now the matriarch of the family. She's been coming into work every fucking day, filming those god-awful soap
Except when
operas.
she's getting her face yanked back.
And then they write her out. She's on vacation.
Yeah. I fucking, you want off the subject, but I went to Chiller Theater last week to meet some of these, like, I love these old actors and these obscure celebrities, and it was getting photo with the Dallas cast, and I Dream of Jeannie, and just Charlene Tilton and some of the older, Larry Hagman looks the same, but the rest of them, it's like, oh, God.
He's got that new liver.
Does he really look the same?
Yeah, but he's sitting there. But I mean, he still looks good for Larry. I mean, he was making. Why are you signing shit? He was making $250,000 in like '79 an episode.
Yeah, why does he have to sit there?
What did he do with his money?
Because he had a mortgage.
Got a liver,
They shook it up. They shook it up. I'm telling you.
You think he had health insurance?
Yes, SAG and after.
Drank like crazy.
Oh, is he a drinker?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
He had to get a new liver.
All right.
He was ready to die. He was like a day away from death, and then, of course, they got the celebrity liver on the platter. Well, we found one for you, Mr. Hagman.
And they canceled his health insurance right before they found some sort of pre-existing condition.
Why not?
Patrick Duffy was there.
Was he there?
Yeah,
How
he
did
looks fucking.
What about Charlene Tilton?
Yeah.
Is she tilting the scales these days? Get it?
No, but you know what? I think I have my picture on here. I'll show you.
Actually, did a benefit the day before Halloween, and there was a woman who was the same age as that's the lady who played "I Dream of Jeannie."
Yes, that was Barbara Eden.
She was wearing that outfit, and she was like in her early 60s, and she had the midriff out and everything. It was back out. It was just. It was like.
Did you not feel a respect at some level? A respect for that?
Yeah, I did because you know what it looked like? It looked like after someone lands with a parachute. Not when the air's completely out of it, when it's just sort of half full. That's what her back looked like. It was, and I know
that's the most beautiful description of that condition.
It was very delicate.
Collapsing canopy. Yeah.
But it was like, I mean, I usually don't pick on someone like that. What's she supposed to do? But she doesn't care.
Can I see too,
She
Jimmy?
doesn't look that bad. She looks older.
Let me see.
But they show the picture of her behind.
That's a little rough.
She could look worse.
Maybe get the other picture off the wall.
Yeah.
Well, you got to have the pictures up there so people know who they are.
I got a picture of where's Larry Hagman? He still looks pretty much.
Look at Jimmy's picture. It's really
yeah, really.
I know. I'm sorry. We got to throw
big time director, hot movie. And we're looking at your celebrity photos.
Sorry about that. We're just talking about old people.
Jimmy loves his celebrity photos.
No, but come on, Larry Hagman. It's like, come on.
Larry looks great.
I told you he does.
Let me see Larry.
Let me see.
Because I talk shit.
You know, Bill and Chris see Larry. Everybody else goes to fuck themselves, and they wonder what Larry looks like. We talk movies again.
Do you go to cinema? When you go to see films, do you say, "I'm just going to go to a theater where they let you take out your laptop and look at your pictures"?
I actually bother people during the climax of the movie. Look, I met the guy who worked with this actor once. You get it? Shut up.
There's an obsession there, Chris. He
fantastic.
loves his celebrity photos.
I think it would be dangerous if you put a lid on that. I think you've got to let it.
I really
let
do.
it breathe.
Oh,
let it out.
it's fun.
Let it breathe.
Let it out.
Yeah, I know.
One of those people on that laptop is dead.
Yeah,
if you're not allowed to show the
exactly,
pictures to people.
Certain people are laughed at for their obsession. Mark David Chapman. Come on, let it go. It's unhealthy. So how was this film released in Britain already? Can we talk about this on a show on Fox about 6 months ago? They showed the scene where they're buying
the bleach.
Yeah, and he's like, how do you just? He's like, you going to the same place to buy all the bleach? And he goes, yeah, but I change my voice every time. And he has a beard. And they're like, but you're the same guy. He's like, and they did 3 voices, and he did one. He goes, well, what's this voice? And he goes, well, it's an IRA guy. He goes, that's a terrorist. Why would you make a terrorist voice? Fucking great.
That is great.
And then how he covered up his beard.
Oh, because he says he's a woman. And they're like, but you've got a beard. He goes, I cover it. And he's got his hands over his phone.
Yeah, just
Dude,
ridiculous.
I laughed out loud at that movie.
Well, you know what's it's scary, kind of, when we played in Britain, we got requests, and it's actually happened here as well, that sort of police departments or people who work in anti-terror say, oh, can we play this to our kind of like recruits as almost like a training video? And you think, no, it can't be that. What? You really going to be, is it because you take real life and you kind of exaggerate it a bit for a film, but then they're playing it back into the system as if like, no, this is the kind of guy you got to watch out for.
This is what you're going to be dealing with.
Yeah.
Who you should profile.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
All good actors, too, by the way. All great.
Maybe they just want to, they're great.
All those guys was fucking terrific. Are any of those guys, because there's some guys that are huge in Britain that we don't know.
Are they famous?
Any of those guys really big over there?
They're on the way up. I mean, one guy, Kayvan, who plays Wadge, does a sort of phone jacker thing. You know, he phones people up. He's great on voices, so, he does that, and then he's doing it in real life, too.
Which guy is he?
Masks. He plays Wadge, the not-so-bright one.
Oh, he's the guy that
least
the weird little,
No, Wadge is like, he's Omar's brother, he's Omar's buddy.
Is he the confused guy?
It's in my heart and in my brain, the confused guy. Confused face, takes a picture of his face to see if he's confused,
Oh, God, that was
but he does a great show, Phone Jack.
Am I confused?
I forgot about that. That was...
Yeah.
I got to pop this in right when I get home.
Dude, I should have called you yesterday and told you. It's because a lot of times we don't want to watch the film because a lot of times we just
quite understand.
Lazy.
But it was so great.
So let's talk about the other films that are coming out on Friday in quite a negative way.
Yes, of course.
Megamind. Have you seen Megamind?
Fuck that stupid animation.
Fuck cartoons.
That's Kazoo from the Flintstones.
Yeah,
they just reworked it.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about that film.
That wasn't kind of a review. It was just a kind of like avalanche of negative noise.
What
It was pretty
what other movies are coming out Friday?
That works, though. That
Due
works.
Date.
Huh?
Even if you liked it,
Due Date.
You can wait to see that till next week because that'll be around longer. This is in less theaters, so go see this.
And that's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Exactly.
Seen it already.
It is.
I think it is, too.
It looks just like it.
I think they made that movie already.
But every generation wants
Isn't
their...
that Zach through the glass there?
It does look like Zach.
Is he one of your guys?
Yeah.
He does look like
Devin.
Zach.
He does. A lot of times people come up. In New York about 3 or 4 times already.
Oh, my
You
God.
go to a restaurant, people go,
Holy shit.
Yeah, suddenly you get golden service until he says, no, I'm not him, and then it's gone away.
Why would he do that? Just go with it.
Of course he should, or just tell people he's kind of a fat, like, Unabomber. That's what he looks like. Ted Kaczynski.
Hey, you know, I wanted that was a question I had. If some woman thinks he's Zach Galifianakis, right? He doesn't reveal that he isn't, and he bangs her. Is he in trouble on any level? Is that some sort of form of rape?
Bill Burr look-alike going around?
I'm just asking.
What do you look like, Bill?
Yeah, how's this going to work out for you?
I think maybe DNA, alibis, things like that.
Happy Days thing going on here. What's he called?
And please say, Ralph Malph. I've always looked way more like Ralph Malph. They always say Ron Howard.
Yeah, I'd say Ron Howard.
What you should do is here's what you do. You fuck the girl. And as you're coming, you say, I'm not Zach. And you fucking let your seed leak down her leg. Well, you don't tell her, and that you call Zach thinking she's got a kid with him.
Yeah.
She realizes it's just some guy.
I said Mac. Mac Galifianakis.
Well, actually, that's an interesting case. If legally, if she never knows that he isn't Zach.
Yeah, he doesn't have to.
He has no obligation to that dumbbell.
No.
He should get his ball. He should say, "Look, Zach loves his ass eating, and she has to eat his ass." He should really humiliate her. That's what I would do. As if the act of fucking me wouldn't be bad enough.
That's so misogynistic.
Yeah.
Who do I root for in that? I just don't know who to root for.
The guy with the fucking ski mask and the knife and the erection. As a rule of thumb, that's the guy who should win.
Well, let's thank Chris Morris for stopping by.
Yeah, I guess we're done for the day.
Yeah, the movie's called Four Lions. Comes out tomorrow. Please go see it.
And also,
if you're a fan of comedy, especially.
Yeah, it's in New York, Austin, Dallas, San Francisco, Boston, L.A.,
Seattle,
and Seattle.
Wow, done. Was that memory?
Well, yeah. Well, I was looking at my fingers. It had to be. And I will be in Poughkeepsie the 19th and 20th at Bananas. And my Raw Dog interview with Gary is today at 4:00.
Bababooey.
Yeah, it was a good interview. Good. So if you're around, listen to it. If not, don't. And Bill Burr's DVD is available.
Right.
Wow, what a sweetheart.
Yeah, but you got to tell them 21 minutes of material.
Yeah, 21 minutes of material that was not on Comedy Central will be on it. It'll actually flow. There'll be no commercials.
Nice.
And
so I like watching stuff.
Exactly.
Chris Morris,
so
thank
please
you
check
so
it
much.
out on
Good
iTunes.
luck, man.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. All right.